Yo, what's going on, realm? The Lord's Day. What's poppin'? Oh, wow. Black Ronin 357. Throw the crest up. Welcome to the realm. Thank you for joining, sir. How we doing? John M. What's going on? John M. already got his acquisition bag on. He's telling us to take two things going down officially. We heard it from John M. So if it happened, John M., we're going to give you all the credit. DJ Oros in the building. What's up? Firestar, what up? Lord Meyerhoof. Salute. What's going on? Another Lord in the building. Beige XR. PyCon Fusion. See, I said it right. Gabe Zero, what's going on? Throw the crest up. Outlaw, what's up? What's going on? We're going to try to get Jimmy Champane in the building. Waiting to hear from him. Yeah, man. Early podcast. Yeah, 11 a.m. That's what we do. The Lord's been in need of football. Addict, say what's up to the people. Make sure the levels
what's going on, guys? You should be able to hear me fine.
Yeah. Gerald Mack, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. I saw you up in Xbox Era when I was there yesterday. Appreciate the love. It's all good. Nah, Lord Meyerhoff, you good. We will be rocking 11 a.m. Eastern, probably all the way up into the new year. So if the new year kick off, we will switch back to 1 p.m. Eastern. But we gotta respect the NFL right now. We gotta do that. So I'm gonna wait.
You guys got to. I don't.
We got to.
After this, I'm going straight back to this.
You're hilarious. Anyway, but yeah. So we're gonna see if we can get Jimmy in here, King and Saul, and we'll talk to y'all. We'll be back.
Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
I want to do.
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that
super
going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that
super
going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that,
super
keep
nervous.
that, keep that going, keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, nah, let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that,
super
keep
nervous.
that, keep that going, keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, nah, let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that,
super
keep
nervous.
that, keep that going, keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals. All on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got nah, let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just super
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals. All on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got nah, let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep
super
that
nervous.
going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's, whew. Let's do that again. I'ma just chill and watch them and eat snacks in the attic. I wanted to chill with the pack and be like a young wolf, but then they would mistake me for addict. If I can imagine, it's cool to give you some advice, then invite your girl to your squadron. Cause if you don't give her that option, you gon' be single player like Sovereign. You gon' get tossed in the bushes by King David. Royalty and not a pretender. Detrimental to an elemental, what's an avatar to a knee bender? I gotta be me though. I know it's my destiny, word to Cognito. Who cares if you fly, if you still a mosquito? You swear you ain't stuntin', but really be Steve-O. You like to collect stuff and that's cool, but I got bad news. Even if you really was that dude, King David still be the king of the statues. Since a juvenile, I've been cursed with a curse to be musical. And if you hate it, we'll meet in the crucible. Other than that, then it's cool and it's beautiful. We let you know that your dreams are pursuable. Whatever you wanna do, then it's doable. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day. Woo. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day.
All right. Hear ye, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords Podcast, LLC, and also live on lordsofgaming.net, episode number 225. It's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm extremely excited about our special guest, and we've got Deathloop impressions, Xbox acquisition rumors, and GeforceNow leaks to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whose unique skill set of filmmaker, podcaster, and content creator is only matched by his pure passion for 80s slasher fix and video game culture. Introducing the creator and host of the Jimmy Champane and PS Ready YouTube channel, plus the co-host of the Fear Frequency podcast, the Lord of Cool Shirts, Horror, and Halloween, with the most iconic last name minus a G in the game. Live from LA by way of Detroit and making his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Jimmy Champane. How we doing, sir?
I need to like clip that intro out so I can just put it before my videos. So, it's awesome. That was great. That's like you even got the no G part. Excellent. I love it.
What you do is you put it on a tape recorder and just give it to everyone. Like you go like grocery store, just play this tape recorder for me.
Play it over the
That's a good TikTok video. Just play that over and over again.
It's important.
No doubt, man. But otherwise, how you been doing, sir? Feels like we haven't seen you that long ago, but we have.
Yeah. It's a couple weeks, right? Yeah.
It's a couple weeks.
I've been going like ever since that weekend. So I've had something to do, and then this weekend I had a chill weekend.
Nice.
I'm wrapping it up with this. I'm excited. This is fun.
Absolute pleasure, man. Any types of games? What you been gaming, man? What you been playing?
So I've been playing a lot of Destiny. So
Nice.
That's like my main game.
Nice.
I've been doing the trial stuff. I've been catching up on the 2 weeks of the seasonal challenges that I missed.
Okay.
And then I started Hades on my Switch.
Okay.
It's pretty solid. It's all right. And then I have Deathloop going too. So
Nice.
bounce between like 3 games.
Nice, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I see you. You got a link on that Destiny. I'll keep missing it for a little bit, but that's good to see the crossplay in there.
Crossplay.
Yeah, crossplays in there. The Hades going
You got
on.
Fortnite to thank for that.
Yeah. Salute to Fortnite. You know what I'm saying?
One good thing Fortnite did.
Exactly.
Shout out Tim Sweeney. Yeah,
No doubt. How we good on chats? Solve anything? We can roll through.
Let's welcome to the realm, Lord Black Ronin 357. Put the crest in the chat for Black Ronin, ladies and gentlemen. Beyond that, we are good.
All right. And you already know we got we don't have one horseman is coming in hot. Hopefully the king will be here soon. So you already know what it is. We still got the 3 other horsemen of game.
Trust me. King is not missing this GeForceNow leaks. Trust me. He's not doing it.
He for that. Those original Lords of the Realm here at the round table with some semi-time sensitive intros because Jimmy's here. We want to respect his time. But my co-host, the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, Lord of his own world, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how we doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. I did beat Deathloop for the people in the chat asking. We'll get into that here later. Definitely going to be a good show. We got a good guest. Yes. Excited for it. It's because it's background, so I know we're gonna talk about stuff that we don't normally talk about. And that's kind of exciting because it's not football or sports.
Why are you happy? It's not football?
I mean, you guys could talk about football. Just like mute.
Oh, you and Attic are brothers now. Oh, he loves you now.
Add me to that. That.
King Harry. King,
you're fine. You're fine where you at.
He loving this. There no sports talk. You got somebody that don't. Addict's in a good place right now. Salute. But just been Deathloop, sir.
Yeah, I look. I love Bravery Default too, but I don't like that performance on that Switch. Like, I've not like. Normally, most of the time, I understand why a game plays so bad on the Switch, but I don't understand why this game plays so bad on the Switch. Like, if you look at this game, this can run on a toaster.
Oh, damn.
But on the Switch, I guess a toaster runs better than it does.
Wow, we really doing that? Wow, that's what we doing?
We're definitely doing that, man.
It's the sequel to a 3DS game, right? Like, it kind of looks
that's
like
my point.
Yeah,
like,
I get it. I get where you're coming from.
Slander.
Well, maybe they should have put a little bit more thought process into the optimization and they'd be no slander.
No. So no, just those two?
And pretty much just I ain't really played Destiny, man. Every time I get on there, like either everyone's full in the clan or people be having their parties locked, so I just go back to another game. Like I don't even bother with it.
Yeah, we got a lot of new people, but I've been noticing the raid teams have been locking them down. I have seen that raids. I guess there's a lot of people doing raids for the first time, so they want that focused party chat. Well, I guess nobody coming, but it is what it is. We get some raids going on. But anyway, we got our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single-player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, the Lord of Clarity and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank, my man, Lord Sovereign. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. So excited to have Jimmy on, a fellow Halloween stan. I'm just a Halloween stan. I love Michael Myers. So to have Jimmy on, we talked for like an hour a couple of weeks ago just about like horror games and horror movies, man. So that is my bag. I love that stuff. So in terms of gaming, nothing. I wanted to get in some Deathloop so I can have something to say about it today. I got in late last night. I literally sat down for like 15 minutes and it was over. It was done. So that was it. Yeah, old man kicked in and that was that. So no gaming. I watched some, like we talked before we went live, Malignant.
Okay.
Again, I like my horror movies, but this one was I had to put myself in a mind space to be able to enjoy this one.
I don't know. When it comes to horror movies, I'm too busy like laughing about the stuff that doesn't make sense to me to like be scared about anything. Like,
yeah, for me, I'm not scared anymore. I like to see if they can still scare me, right? Like I turn the lights down and I really go all the way in and have my headphones on. But yeah, I'm Malignant.
You want to get the Drunken Ninja real quick?
We got the Drunken Ninja $5 super chat. Happy Sunday, Lords. Check out Unruly Heroes. Just dropped on Game Pass. It's Ori, but with Kung Fu.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Shout out to Wilmy's in the building. Hit that like button. It summons King David faster. You know what I'm saying? And then he agrees. He said Malignant is a combo of Drop Dead Fred, Deadpool, and Basket
Case. Yeah, Basket Case.
Yes.
It's like a remake of Basket Case.
Shout out to Wilmy. Wilmy, you're gonna like this show. Because Wilmy's a big horror guy. So salute to Wilmy. And unfortunately, your like did not summon the King faster. So we still gonna be going on. Hopefully, King will join us. But we still got the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, Lord Cognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Shout out to Defining Duke. Had a great episode with the amazing Maddie Plays. And the mayor himself, Ben Smith, pulled up. So it was a full fun episode. Come check that out. It should be up on $3.99 in about 45 minutes. So check it out. We're talking about what's going on there. And then if you want to get that Defining Duke Ultimate, we had rocked out and talked about the whole Disney IP wars between Xbox and PlayStation. Check that out. And then, of course, The Last Word with Ebontis and Ty Guy Travis popped off. My man Ascendant Nomad pulled up. A lot of fun. So if you want to know about the intricacies of PvP, the man is a savant. Very cool dude. Talked about the trials, debate, and all that good stuff. So go check that out. But yeah, for me, it's been Destiny, Season of the Lost. Been sneaking that in there, and I've been doing some origami. So obviously the sequel now is out. It's on Game Pass, but I went back to the first one just to kind of refresh myself. If you're a fan of Tenchu, you want all of Tenchu vibes, this is the true ninja stealth game for you. You want to get OG before we start, Sam?
Oh, yeah. OG man. $2 super chat. Malignant was so disappointing. Yes, I agree, sir. Yeah. But again,
he paid to say that.
he had to chat. Yeah, he's like that. We got to let him know.
You have a passionate base here. Listen, I agree. Like, again, if you put yourself in a different mental space, maybe have a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
There's enjoyment to be had there.
That's nothing, Jimmy. Our chat's so passionate, they will pay to argue with each other.
Yes, and to keep us hostage.
Yes,
it has happened before. We got Gerald.
You got Gerald Mac, $2 super chat. Check out the movie Kate on Netflix. Fire. Yes, I heard it has a lot of Kill Bill vibes.
Yeah, I
watched
it.
It's a good
movie.
Kate. Good.
No,
all right, I want to watch that.
You already know. So now that we got into what the Lords have been playing, I want to focus on Lord Jimmy Champane, his video game system history, his journey into film and content creation, and of course what led him to starting the Jimmy Champane YouTube, PS Ready, and Fear Frequency podcast. So Lord Jimmy, let's start from the very beginning. What were some of the first video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
Okay, so the first system I had, I went over to my cousin's house and I played his PS1 and I loved it. And then they were like, "Oh, Jimmy likes video games." I was probably like 5, and then I get home, and then like a week later, my aunt comes over and she has like a big bag of stuff. I'm like, "Well, what is this?" She's like, "Yeah, you liked our PS1, so here's all our Super Nintendo and all of our games for it that we don't use anymore." And I was like, "Okay, oh shit, this is cool." So I got like Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, Link to the Past, like every good Super Nintendo game, they had it. So I had that. until the original Xbox came out. So I had a Super Nintendo.
Okay.
I had a original Game Boy, and then the original Xbox came out. I got that.
Nice.
Moved up to the Game Boy SP. Then from there got the DS.
Okay.
And then from Xbox went to 360. Went to PS3. Then all the way up. So yeah.
So let me back you up a second, because you said something interesting. Obviously, your first experience was the PS1, which I love. I love the PlayStation 1. So like, was it a situation where it's like, even though they gave you the Nintendo, were you like, but this ain't the PlayStation that I like? Like, did you have that moment yet?
I thought at that point all games were like what I was playing on PlayStation. Like that was my first memory of seeing it like at all. And once I got on it, though, once I had it all plugged in, I was like, oh, it's flat. Like this is weird. But I just got super lucky. The first game I played was Super Mario World, and I was like, oh, this is better. Like I really like this.
Okay.
And I played all the way through it. And then Donkey Kong Country. So those are the two back-to-back like epic games that I played, and I loved it. I sat there. I used to carry it around with me. Like I'd go hang out at my grandpa's house on like the weekend. I'd put the Super Nintendo in the bag. I'd bring it with me, and that console was so durable, and the games were so durable.
Yes.
You could just like throw them around. It was like very portable for what it was, and it's small too. Like I don't like compared to the PS1 original, it's like pretty small. So. Yeah, I never got a PS1 after like I played it at their house. I played Crash. I was like, Crash is dope, and we got pretty far in it. And then I just never got it until way later on the Vita and stuff, and the PS3. I was playing PS1 games.
You know what's funny? Somehow my mom got a hold of our the video we did with the questions.
Yeah,
and she's like, AJ, I bought you an NES and a Super Nintendo. I was like, no, you didn't. She's like, how are you gonna tell me what I did and not buy for you? I was like, I know, I think I would remember something like that, and you did not do that. I was like, I think you're getting these consoles mixed up. That's what's going on here.
The mix and impact.
No doubt. The king has arrived. Let me see your levels is good, sir.
Sorry for my tardiness, individuals. I do apologize. It was a ruckus evening. As you guys can see, the Mexican food and the tequila has taken a toll upon the king. This early rising stuff, this 11 a.m. is a detriment to my soul. And I do apologize for me being tardy, but again, I am here. Yes. And to our esteemed guests, I apologize for me being tardy.
No, we appreciate
That's
you.
a great excuse.
Mexican food and tequila is always.
That tequila is lit. If you look at my Twitter page, it's kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy. You already know. So, King, he's talking that OG talk, man. It's a system talk.
I heard the Super Nintendo being super durable. I heard AJ said his mother bought him consoles that he never got from her. And I
noticed you put my government name out there like that. But okay.
No, I do apologize.
Salute to the government being out. I like that. I like that.
Do apologize.
He did. The tequila's lit. The tequila's lit.
Yo,
better go put two-factor authentication.
Yes.
I was talking to Tim Dog, and I brought myself up in a third person, like in a scenario. And then he's like, who's AJ? I'm like, oh, that's my real name. Like,
no.
I heard that he didn't have a PlayStation 1. Okay, is there any particular reason why the PlayStation 1 wasn't received at that point in time?
I knew I could play it over at my cousin's house, and I liked the Super Nintendo so much, and I didn't even think about it. I remember, like when you're a kid, you always want what you don't have. That was like the one thing where I was like, no, this is good. To me, it felt newer than the 3D games, because I was like, the 3D stuff, I was like, oh, this is a little like the input lag was noticeable to me. It's like a kid, and I was like, oh no, this is perfect on Super Nintendo with like Mario, Super Mario World. Just like you hit the button, he moves instantly.
Yeah, people don't realize that 60 frames per second was what we came from, with the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. And when we gravitated towards the PlayStation and other CD-based titles that was in a 3D realm, we went to 30 frames per second,
or less.
You know, it actually affected us Twitch-based guys. You know, so. Yeah, I actually feel.
I gotta jump in, Red. Shout out to Black Ronin. He said AJ is short for Attic Johnson. Yo, they stupid. That was funny. I had to give you that
one. He is my brother.
This is why I don't be. This is why we can't have nice things.
But anyway, moving back to Jimmy. So again, so from that point on, you pretty much had so many different systems. You said the 360. Did you miss out on the OG Xbox that really interested you at that time?
Oh no, so that was my first like big boy consoles, the original Xbox. Okay. My dad he's crazy. He had this big wine and liquor store. It was like the biggest one in the Midwest. Wow. And somehow he met this guy at a party where they were playing poker, and the guy he was like a sales rep from Microsoft. And he like put up an Xbox with like every launch game, and my dad got it. Got it for the guy.
Nice.
And you met the guy through the store. That's how it comes into play. And so for the Christmas that year, when it came out, I got the original Xbox with like every game. And there was like 50 games, I want to say, that came out with that console. Like, we had everything, like Halo, MXATV, like all these insane games. So I got to just try everything.
Wow.
Immediately gravitated towards Halo. That's like got to be my most played game ever.
Nice.
Just played that like day in, day out. Got Halo 2. And then I bought Halo 3 before I had a 360. So I would like bring it to my friend's house with one of those Xbox memory cards, and I would use their console until I could mow enough lawns to afford a 360. And I bought a 360 without a hard drive because I don't know, my parents, they cut me off after the original Xbox and the SP and stuff. I remember I got the DS, and my dad was like, "This is it.
This is it."
Like, I'm sick of a new game console every year. So I had to buy that one myself. And you know what? It made it like way more memorable than I was like, I saved up, got a used, no hard drive 364, and then I was using my memory card with it. Yeah, I used a memory card. It was crazy.
I forgot about that. Not to cut you, Jimmy. Sav, remember that? I forgot the 360 had 2 SKUs, right?
Right. It had that. It had that the arcade SKU. Remember that? Arcade? No, it gave you like the little memory card. Not
a 4 gigabyte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had the one with the 20 gig hard drive that you detach from the top.
Did that?
Yeah.
What they did was they was trying to remove the barrier of entry.
Yes.
And in doing so, they lowered the price. But again, if you bought the hard drive, your price just went back up.
You know what's funny? Like that kind of mindset, them trying to get that lower barrier, is probably like the originators that happened like for stuff like Game Pass and All Access program, like that mindset of trying to get into as many people's house as possible. Like, all right, what else can we do?
I think that was more the mindset of the Series S.
Right.
When they did do it, and I mean, it wasn't different from the regular 360s minus the hard drive, the smaller memory bank.
And back then, the hard drive didn't matter as much because we wasn't downloading to the point that we are now.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Like when I didn't even, the demos I started downloading like a year later, I want to say, when the hard drive, I got that finally. I think I got like really sick, and then I was like, Dad, I'm dying. I need the hard drive.
I need the hard drive.
Dying. I was like stuck at home. Like, all right, I'll get you the hard drive. You got me a used one too, and it's all scratched. I was like, whatever, I'll take it.
Those 20 gigs.
Did you trade in your 360 and just remove your hard drive from them? Like, nope, I'm taking
that 360 lasted like a year and a day. Like the day after, it was
Red Ring,
and I was like,
oh my god, yeah,
no. So I got a PS3. I got
okay. You was rich.
No, I saved up money, dude. Like I was meticulous about every gift I got. I was like doing math. I had a little notebook.
Nice.
Like, how much I needed with tax. Like if I trade in these games I don't play, like they'll take this much off. I used to watch GameStop every week to add, because every few months they would do one where you'd get double trade-in credit for waiting for that. Credit. I would trade in. I would go to garage sales too, and I would buy like old consoles that were still being traded in. I was like really wild.
Jimmy, you was hustling, baby. You
was smart.
I like this. Okay.
My parents were like, nope. They were like, sorry, we're not buying you video games.
So before, I'm just cut you again. before you're going through this process, saving up for the PS3. So what was the era where Dad was like, okay, you're cut off. This is the
3DS.
last system.
Yeah, right after the original DS.
Wow.
DS1,
He said the 3DS he was cut off. So ingenuity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? I got to cut grass. I got to look at the timeline on GameStop. I got to make sure that I could get in there when they having double sale time. Yeah, I actually feel you. I respect your hustle, sir.
Sorry,
dude. I remember right after I got the DS, my dad and I, my grandma would go to Florida every Christmas, so we had to drive her car down for her. And we're driving the car. He grabs a newspaper while we're eating lunch, and he's like, "Hey, check this out!" And he shows me the PSP, and I was like, "Oh no, I made the wrong choice." Yes, I was so devastated because it looked so cool.
PSP looked cool when it first came.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember it. And then I just got super lucky. One year, my grandparents were feeling really generous. They got it for me for Christmas that year. That's like the biggest gift I've ever gotten from them. And it was like, holy crap, this is cool. So PSP I really liked more than the DS. But yeah, I saved up for the PS3. I got Uncharted 2, Little Big Planet 2, Resistance 2. I think that was like the first games I got because they were so cheap.
Did you get the Foreman Grill PlayStation 3?
Yeah, it was all scratched up.
Yes,
same deal. I had to get
with the Spider-Man logo.
Yep, Spider-Man logo. I actually love that thing though. Like it ran so well. And then right at the end of the generation, the Blu-ray laser broke.
You know that was commonplace with that. You would get that yellow line.
Yeah,
and then you would take it in and you would fix the Blu-ray laser. It didn't cost much. It cost probably like $50 to $75 to get it done. But if you have the original PlayStation 3, that thing is worth money because it actually played the PlayStation 2 games.
Yeah.
Did it play PlayStation 1 games? I don't remember.
That's a good question.
I don't know if you could put the disc in.
No, it did.
It did, right?
Okay.
That was the first.
I never
time
tried it.
They agreed to true back compat.
Yeah.
And
those
then
were the
they
days.
removed it.
It was literally a PS1 and a PS2 built into the PS2.
Exactly on the motherboard, and it was a great. That's when they was giving really fan service back, and justified the price. It was $6.99. Justified the price that you was able to take your catalog with you.
Yes.
So I really respected that, and I did get a second job for it, but
you know how much they go for on eBay now?
Yes, I do.
Ooh,
yeah,
1,000 plus.
So
easy.
basically,
1,500.
It was that the back compat for PS3 was so big, it's so critical. And it was like a controversial thing when it was removed in the subsequent revisions at some point, right?
Yeah.
It was, and I remember I got a settlement for the Linux thing.
Oh, you got your settlement too in the mail?
I was so angry that they took Linux out of this.
Yo, bro, shout out to Saul for bringing it up. I know, I got that message too. So I was like, I'm signing the petition. We didn't get that much bread back from Sony.
It was like $20.
Well,
like $20.
I got $12.
Yeah. Shout out to all the messy lords who fronted like Linux was so important to them just so they could settle with the Sony lawsuit to get $20. Because when they sent that in the mail, I was happy. Get at it.
I was
Who
outraged.
are you to tell them what they should or should not be upset with? I'm sure there was plenty of people upset they couldn't put Linux on their PlayStation
my fake
3.
outrage was lit, bro.
It was lit.
But yeah, salute to Jimmy on that because I forgot Linux. PS3 was a very unique system. It had back compat, and it did have Linux as an OS to sell.
Wasn't that Ken Katarugi's last console that he made for the PlayStation?
I'm not sure. Might have been.
I think
Yeah, that was the last one because the PlayStation 4, we know
was Mark Cerny.
That's the Mark Cerny.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was his last great console. And that's when they went with the cell processor.
Right.
And they had to, people had to wrap their heads around the cell processor. I think that was a great thought process going into that because that cell processor allowed us to get The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
It allowed us to get Metal Gear, certain titles that the 360 could not do because they was programmed in a certain manner for it. And I think he was way ahead of his time.
They
with
finished,
that console.
Not to cut you, King, they finished strong at the
Yeah.
end of the
yes,
gen. They
very
started
strong.
to really mature with the tools, but in the beginning it was rough because a lot of the the multi-platform games generally ran better on 360 at that time.
The reason why it ran better on the 360 because remember the 360 was stuff
Power
was taken
PC.
off
Power
the shelf.
PC, yeah.
Right. You know, these things it was a hogwash. It was a small PC, you know, put together, and people that developed in that language, it was easier to port those games over. But PlayStation specific games, phenomenal.
Oh yeah, when they had their
Oh yeah,
exclusives,
totally.
for sure. So I want to get back to Jimmy with you mentioned that PSP, you know, and how you thought maybe you might have made a mistake. Talk to us about that.
I definitely made a mistake. There was not a lot of good DS games at the beginning. You had Super Mario 64, which you can only play so long, right? You beat it, you finish it, you get all the stars, you're done. And then I don't even remember. I think the next game that I really wanted was like Spider-Man 2 or something. Like, it wasn't a good game. And then I got the PSP and everything changed. I got 20X Underground 2. They had like, oh my God, Death Jr. Kills of Liberation. I played that game so much. There's incredible amount of games for PSP that I love.
The ones I love the most for PSP is when they brought Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, I had that. That was so good.
We got to give PSP its flowers. It doesn't get enough credit. I'm glad you brought it up because King, I remember like launch titles. I'm gonna say Ridge Racer was there. They had like a
Ridge Racer, Wipeout.
Wipeout was amazing.
Soundtrack.
That was my God, Wipeout was amazing. Yeah, and I remember a very impressive Tekken 5 port. I believe. Tekken 5. Namco pulled it off on PSP.
We didn't even know how they did it.
We were like, this is sorcery, but they were able to do it.
Crazy. And then Midnight Club 3, that was on there. That game had like literal 5-minute loading times. But it was worth it. It was worth it.
Yo,
it looked so good.
Jimmy, remember the UMDs?
Yeah, and you would hear it like
watching movies and you're spinning up.
Oh man,
I'm looking at the list now. There was a lot of long Ape Escape, ATV, Darkstalker.
Yes, you know I had Ape Escape.
But the ones that I didn't think were launch games, Luminous, Metal Gear Acid was. I'm
an Acid fanboy.
Yeah,
I know people don't like it.
Acid was sweet.
I loved Acid, bro.
That was different. It was different. Like, that was cool.
Yeah,
and MVP 2005.
Wait, they had MVP at launch?
I don't remember, but I know I had it, but I don't remember.
I know you had it because every baseball game you had. Wow, yeah, we had to give PSP.
Twisted Metal had on also great, and then Untold Legends was like secretly really fun. My brother and I played that a lot.
Salute the PSP giving us roses. So there you got that. So you just continued on. I was going to say, like, I asked you some King questions. I'm calling them King. Like, I noticed there's some gaps a little bit. So 32-bit era, you kind of stayed PlayStation and all that stuff. I get that, but did you ever venture out into all those what I would consider like niche consoles, maybe TurboGrafx, maybe 3DO? Or
I did later.
Oh, okay.
Because of Angry Video Game Nerd, I got like that's my favorite YouTuber. That dude's like why I do YouTube now. I'm pretty sure. So I discovered all that stuff through him. I bought an NES on eBay. I remember I was at like senior year homecoming high school. I bought one on eBay and I was like so stoked. And my girlfriend I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I just got an NES. I was so excited. I had like Power Glove with it. I tried all that out.
Oh my God. So you got
it was like pristine. I still have that NES. It came with the box and everything, and I got it for $35. So
really?
Yeah, with like a bunch of games. And then, I would go back and play all that stuff on emulators and everything like that, just so I could kind of experience it. My buddy had a Genesis. I never jived with it just because of the games he had. He had weird stuff. That I was
like his game selection
or something.
Yeah, you buy a lot of movie games.
Oh,
when are you gonna learn, dude?
He had the Sega CD.
I think because I do, I love TV shows and movies, and I think that's why like the Click, like Telltale and stuff that they did, and Until Dawn. I think that's the reason those games always gravitated towards me, because it like merged two things I love together. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, bro. I think what it is too, Attic, is that like, see, you're like, in our opinion, like the recipient of the good movie tie-ins.
Oh God.
But like for us back in the day,
we had Night Trap,
bro. Like you gotta stay Attic. Whenever a movie game came out, it was like historically bad, kind of what Jimmy was talking about.
Demolition Man.
Resident Evil and Chuck Bodak. Remember Chuck Bodak? And the laser scene.
Like I'm jealous because Attic gets to experience the great movie game time.
Like he didn't get to get past all the
we
sucky
talking
stuff.
like what generation are you guys referring to?
32-bit era.
32-bit era, probably.
32-bit era.
Yeah.
When we went to CD,
What could have possibly been good in that anyway?
Oh my God, here we go.
full motion
Age
video.
old shaming.
Somehow you're gonna expect me to believe you could put a 32-bit area and make a decent movie game.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
You guys are just saying they were bad.
Turbo Graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Their CD player
Yeah.
took it to the next level.
Oh, for sure.
And everybody aspired to do exactly what Turbo Graphics did when we had E's book 1 and 2. That's the first time I heard like live voice acting.
Oh yeah.
And I was looking at the game like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Orchestral sound,
Gates of Thunder, Lords of Thunder. These games changed how games were brought to us because the CD base, that sound was incredible.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, so Sega went that avenue, and I think they failed miserably. But
that's why I always be like laughing on Twitter when people like when I was talking about that $10 upgrade, that PlayStation 5 tax. And the first argument, everyone, well, did you go with the DVD and demand an upgrade to a Blu-ray? I was like, that's a hardware to a hardware. That makes no sense.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, man.
That's a bad argument against you.
Yeah,
not the greatest.
Completely bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. So again, you got that, and then the last question I had before we move on with any Vita love, because I know that's big in the Last Stand Media camp.
Vita's how I got into the whole writing thing. I loved the Vita. I had that day one. I went to GameStop. I got pretty much all of the launch titles, I want to say, which there were a lot.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, you said day one. Did you camp out?
No, because it was in Holland, Michigan, dude. Like,
okay,
you didn't have to. No one was playing games up there. I
he just walked in nice and easy. Like,
I would go to this GameStop like probably once a week just to see what's up, and I was always the only person in there. And it was like a really nice GameStop too. I was like,
it's the same thing here. Like when I tell them like, "Oh, are you gonna go get are you gonna reserve the Series X?" I'm like, "Yo." There ain't nobody here buying games like that. The only because the Series X and PS5 were already didn't have a whole lot of stock. I kind of struggled getting that, but I still was able to get a Series X. I had to buy a PS5 used because I could not find one new at all. But the only one that I really have to struggle getting is Switch stuff, like Nintendo stuff. Because it seems like that's a little bit more widespread. Like I was able to get the day one Switch, but that's about as far as that will go. Like, because most of the time, there was a good time for like 6 months to 9 months. The Switch was constantly sold out. That makes sense. So you were saying, Jimmy, so you nice GameStop, you go in there for the Vita. Tell us the story.
So I just played Resident Evil on the 3DS. Loved it, Revelations, and I traded in that game and the boat attachment for it. They give you the extra thumbstick. I traded in some of the games I wasn't playing, so I really didn't have to pay that much for the Vita, but I was obsessed with that thing. I was like doing updates on this website with I think you guys had her on, Miranda Sanchez. We had a website, and so we like came up together there, and we were reviewing games. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
So
That's what's up. Salute.
My first game review ever was Guacamelee on the Vita.
Love that game.
Pretty good game.
Yeah, when the PS1 stuff came to the Vita, that's why I started playing it, like Symphony of the Night and Resident Evil 2 and 3. Like those were really, really good games to put on the Vita because they ran like pretty well. Had good controls. The OLED screen looked great. So Vita's awesome. I love that console. I was playing it all the way. I got the revision. I played it all the way to the end, like when they stopped really releasing big games. I think the last game I played on it was that Cappy game, Super Time Force Ultra. It came out on PS Plus.
Super Time Force Ultra.
Played it for like 3 hours. I was like, like the Switch is out.
That was a good game.
It actually sucks the fact that the Vita didn't do what I expected it to do. I still have all my Vita games and my Vita. I actually got 2 of them.
I think what it was, the reason that didn't succeed as well is because like PlayStation was kind of half in, half out with it. Like they kind of wanted the same studios to make Infamous, like another Infamous for that game instead of making games that are portable, portable, and games that are designed to be portable.
Shout out to Colin, because we also found out that from a security standpoint, once they were kind of breached, even though they had the proprietary memory card stuff, but you know, we knew there were methods to get the games soft.
I
don't know
what you're talking about.
So there were methods, and I think once the kind of the back door was open on that, you know, it kind of the floodgates are on. And from my understanding, I believe we did some research on it. You know, that was one of the factors as to why they started to close up shop early.
Because
it lasted longer than the PSP because the PSP got broken really fast.
And because of the CD,
right? And once they happened to the Vita, that's the thing. Like, it was a great console for people to get to mod. Just like the PSP was, but at that point, PlayStation's like, all right, there's no point. We're gonna lose money on this, and
right. But I want to give it back to Jimmy real quick. In reference to that, like some Vita isms. Remember how they had like that? Remember they had the circles in the OS, right? Yeah. So like, remember they had like this thing where it was like something like Vita Near or something where you could supposed to see who's close to you.
I never found out how that worked. I like looked up tutorials.
Kind of like Snapchat maps.
Didn't make sense. Yeah. It was like worse. With the thing on 3DS was really good.
I had somebody that was in my building, and I would always I forgot which game it was, but we will always be trading information back and forth because he was close.
Did it have? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't this Near thing have some added functionality with certain games where you could either interact or trade, like you said, trade an item, or like certain games supported this Near thing? Am I bugging? I'm trying to remember it.
I think in theory,
I never got to use it because no one I knew had a Vita.
I only had one person in my building that was there, and I was like, "Oh, he always there." Hello.
I remember I got when I got a Vita because I had two of them, and I remember I bought one, and it was like I was like in 10th or 11th grade, something like that. And I remember playing Final Fantasy Tactics like all night, and then like saying I was sick, so I have to go to school the next day. Like it was ridiculous. Like that was such a handheld that they like on paper should have destroyed.
It should have
Nintendo.
It was,
but it's
OLED.
Just Nintendo supported their console and Sony didn't. So,
but continue, Jimmy. Give me some more Vita memories, some more standouts.
I remember Hotline Miami coming to Vita was so good. I love that. Killzone Mercenary was really good. I love that game. That was one of the first review copies I got from Sony, which felt so cool. I was like, oh, I'm getting a game from the big boys.
Nice.
Yeah, I played that a lot. I played so many indie games on there, like Ali Ali. I remember that was.
I love Ali Ali.
I like platinumed it. It was like you couldn't platinum it. It just had a lot of trophies, but no platinum. But I still did it. I 100%ed it. Gravity Rush I thought was okay, but it was easy plat, so I did that. There's a ton of games.
And last
they put Borderlands 2 on there.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it ran pretty crappy.
It ran pretty. Yeah, they ran the greatest. I definitely want to salute them because to this day, Vita was still ahead of its time. Like it had the apps. One thing I loved about it is the synergy between that and the PS3 and the fact that your trophies, all that had its list. But remember, Jimmy, they had the voice chat on Switch that does not have, and you was able. So like I could be in a party chat with somebody on PlayStation or whatever, playing different games. So basically, it was cross-platform, cross-app party chat, which to this day. A certain leading console.
It's so weird. It's like maybe they'll add it in like 2 months, right? Like,
the sad thing is it had Bluetooth back then too. It's just like
wow.
How did it take so many years? And apparently the technology on the Switch, it's always been there because that's how they see some of the stuff they have. So it's just like if you could have unlocked Bluetooth from the start. Why did it take you 4 years? Like,
so I actually was looking this up, and some of the answers that I found was the fact that they had plans. You know, Bluetooth it takes up memory, whatever it takes up. So you can't have multiple things connected because then there's all these lag issues and whatnot. So I guess they had plans for other features that were more important to them. And during the course of these 4 years, they've either fallen off the table, whatever, they don't want them or whatever. So now they feel like they can. Whatever resources they had planned for other features that aren't coming to fruition, they're just like, let's just turn on the Bluetooth. So that's it.
That's it.
So
I can't. But salute.
And there's lag. I tried it. I tried it with Hades. I was like, it's not even right. It doesn't work right. You waited this long, and it doesn't even work.
It don't even work right.
Come on. I tried it with AirPods, and the Sony WX-1000s. I have those. Neither. It's just there's
really
lag.
really
lag.
Wow! Shout out to Nintendo for just being.
You know what doesn't? I bought the 8-bit DOE attachment way back, like 2 years ago at this point.
Oh yeah, okay.
No lag.
no lag. Unbelievable.
I never got one of those. I keep like a pair of classic earbuds just rolled up in my Switch case.
Me too. Oh, you do that too?
Yeah. Hey, you know what I do? No, I don't play it.
I'm getting there. Like it's when the portability was like a factor, right? Where it was novel and everything, you can kind of convince yourself that it was okay playing games at 28 frames per second and stuff. But as time goes on, I'm like the Vita ran indie games better than the Switch.
Yes.
It looked better on it too because the screen was smaller. Everything that the Switch gets praised for, the Vita was doing, and honestly better.
I don't understand it.
And they had OLED before
Switch.
Yeah, they had trophies.
And didn't they just
a real console
bring out the whole OLED console now? Like it was a surprise.
Like it's a new feature.
Yeah. Dude, I played all of my indie stuff on Switch, but as soon as that Steam Deck hits,
I'm preemptively buying games on PC now.
Yeah. So your Steam library, man.
I mean, let's just be real. The reason the Switch took off the way it was is because they built that kind of following for decades. So
of course,
when they finally was like, we're done with consoles, we're just merging the platforms together. We're not doing no more 3DSs. We're merging both platforms together. People was down because at that time, people was only buying a 3DS for Pokemon. People was only buying.
They really purchased that console because dudes didn't understand what the Wii U was.
Exactly. They didn't buy the Wii U didn't do well, and then obviously they had a great launch title with Breath of the Wild, and you know, and to their credit, you know, for them that was having power for them. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more power and stuff.
Oh yes, of course, because people gravitated from the Wii.
Yes,
they didn't purchase the Wii U because they thought the Wii U was like some weird extension. They thought it was actually the screen.
I think that was at the beginning, but you know, towards that middle, because that generation wasn't long at all. Like they got rid of that pretty quick. But after like, you know, a year and a half, I think people acknowledged that it was a new system, but Nintendo was no longer supporting it because how bad it did out the gate. You can't really tell me too many like huge hits that came on the Wii U generation because they kept those in the barrel and shot them for the Switch generation.
Shout out to Nintendo for still selling Wii U's for the regular
retail price.
Shout out to them.
Wow.
But look, man, we're going with the game. I know we got a lot to talk about, but I definitely don't want to miss out on other aspects of Jimmy in reference to, you know, the filmmaking aspect. You know, you are a filmmaker, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, I want to know, like, how did that passion develop? And then why such an affinity for horror? Why such an affinity for, like, the slasher genre and all that stuff, too?
Dude, I don't know with the affinity. I watched AMC Fear Fest when I was a kid every year. I used to like count down to when it would start. And that was what they do it now, where it's a whole month. But that started last year again. But every year it gets shorter, and I was so bummed. But I saw Halloween and Halloween 4. When I was really young, I was like, "This is sweet. Love this. Love Michael Myers. This is awesome." Saw a bunch of the Nightmare movies on TV, so I got like the cut down version of these movies for when I was like a little kid, and they were still scary. So then in high school, Angry Video Game Nerd every year does this thing called Monster Madness, where every day of October he would do a movie review. So it brought back all these movies because I was still watching the same one. So I was watching like Halloween, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, all the way up. And then
did you select Season of the Witch? Did you like it? Season of the Witch?
Did you select any magazines like Fangoria?
Yeah, Fangoria. I really like.
Yes,
I was really into the effects. So that's why I watch the movies, practical effects. I like the technical side of it more. So I can.
So my question to you, right, in going to this, do you like animatronics or? Okay, so like I'm a huge Fangoria magazine dude, and when they were at animatronics. For those people that don't know, that's like putting robotics over prosthetics and stuff like that to achieve a more realistic view of it is a little bit more old school. But for purists, we love that kind of stuff because I think you can go a little bit more gory with it. So do you like the switch that they did now from animatronics to?
I hate it.
Thank you.
To like CGI? No, that's what me and Sam were talking about. it sucks. You can tell, because even though you can look at animatronics and prosthetics and like it's fake, it's real. It's technically real. Like it's in the real world. Like there's people are interacting with an object. Whereas with CGI, it's like you can tell when people are looking past it. You can tell that they're not really interacting with stuff. It ages really poorly. There's so many drawbacks, and it makes movies more expensive. So I don't really get why the big switch happened all that much. I mean, there's like standout movies that do it really well, but those are like few and far between, especially with horror where you've got low budgets to begin with. So yeah, no, definitely really into prosthetics, animatronics, stuff like that. I like look for movies that have that. Dude, there's this one, I tell people about it all the time. No one's ever seen it. It came out last summer, and it was like, it came out the perfect time when all the movie theaters closed down. Yeah, right. And it was called The Wretched. And these guys in Michigan made it. Their dad did all the effects on the Evil Dead movies. Oh, wow. Right. So then one of them worked at Pixar forever, and he quit Pixar. Then they made this sweet like Wendigo movie that's all filmed and shot and set in Michigan. They killed it. The effects are insane. But that movie did great because practical effects made it like go far. And then all the theaters shut down, and it was like the only drive-in movie. So they spent like, I think they spent like an insanely low amount of money, and it was the #1 at the box office for an entire summer. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It's the most 80s horror movie I've seen in a while, so I was pretty excited about that.
Salute, you said The Wretched, right?
Yeah.
The Wretched?
Yeah, I'll check it out. Because I just watched Malignant last night.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we talked about
man.
This is crazy, dude.
That's a real head trip film. And I think that was a culmination of their work that they did with the Ouija and what was that, Insidious?
Insidious, Conjuring, all of his movies.
It was really good stuff.
No doubt, man. Salute to you. Yeah, I love that aspect. I love the Halloween love, and I see the Myers fix and stuff like that. So it's real cool that you have that aspect. So I wanted to transition, with content creation, because you kind of in a unique space, because like I said, you have 2 YouTube channels. Obviously you have the Jimmy Champane channel and more focused on the Halloween stuff, and I mean the horror stuff, and then obviously the PS Ready channel, the PlayStation channel. So what inspires you to kind of really get into YouTube? I know you kind of alluded at one content creator. Was that it, or what made you take the leap and say, okay, I want to do this now?
So Angry Video Game Nerd stuff was what made me like aware of YouTube, and what made me want to start doing it though was when I started writing news for IGN, and I don't know, just the crew that was there at the time, I didn't like jive with them. And then it was right after Colin and Greg left, and I was like, man, if they're leaving for YouTube, like, and then I see other people leaving for YouTube, I'm like, something's going on, like that's going to be the next thing. So I immediately just switched over, started over right after I graduated college. I was doing like game videos. I didn't really like that. So then I don't know how it happened, but when I moved out here, right? When I moved out to LA, I met AustinEvans a year into living here, and then I started working for him. And I went to a YouTube workshop, and I got hired out of it. I didn't know it was like a job. It was like a secret job recruiting thing for that. Like it was a YouTube workshop hosted by Apple for Final Cut Pro. And I took a sick day to go, and I met Austin, and I got hired the next day. So I quit my job that I moved out here for that I hated. And then that's where Austin taught me like everything I know about YouTube. He taught me how to like edit right, and that's where I learned all the thumbnail theory, stuff like that, all the real stuff that helped me like grow on YouTube. And then so I started applying it to my channel, which was kind of just like treading water. And I remember I did this video when they announced that Halloween 2018 was going to ignore 2 onward. And I was like, here's why that's a good idea. Basically like did a whole like breakdown, and it got like 180,000 views. So I was like, okay. Wow. And so the poster came out for Halloween, and I did a 5-minute video on that, and it did like 20,000 views. So I was like, holy crap, this is like, I get to make videos about Halloween, my favorite franchise ever. This is great. So I just kept doing it. And then in between Halloween and Halloween Kills, like when Kills started ramping up, I was covering the new Child's Play remake from a negative side. And I was like, oh, I don't like that. So I just went back to Halloween. I was like, I'll stick with that. And then PS Ready came up because Austin wanted to like expand this year. This is like the year of expansion in our company, Overclock Media. And then through another company that Austin's a part of, like we all got together and we're like, what's a good niche, right? We looked at my channel, how it's like a niche, and we grew it. I grew to like the maximum of the niche of Halloween. We're like, what's a niche that's big? We're like, video games. Like, what's the biggest one that I could talk about regularly, that I know a lot about, that like I've been through pretty much my whole life? starting with the PS3, which is funny, and PlayStation. So then we started up PS Ready, and dude, I'm telling you right now, we were like expecting, I don't know, like 80 views the first video. We thought it was going to be at least like a couple of years before we were even rolling on it, and we just got super lucky. It got out there really quick. YouTube featured it within a month. I think I was playing Resident Evil 8 when it came out. I was like, this game's awesome. Nothing can make this day better. And then I like look at the analytics thing. It's like getting this huge spike. I'm like, what's happening? What happened? And then I look and it's like we're on the gaming page of YouTube. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. So it's like a whole full circle thing. Like I started YouTube with like watching Angry Video Game Nerd and like Monster Madness. Wanted to write for IGN, wrote for IGN, didn't like writing for IGN, so I was like, I'm done writing, and then switched to YouTube, and that was like a reset. Took a long time to get to where I'm at now with it, but now I feel like that was the right move all along. I'm like, that was smart.
Salute to you.
I was gonna say I gotta hand it. I'm looking at your thumbnails, like they are crazy good. They are crazy good.
Jimmy's a beast, man. One thing I respect about him is just like, obviously, you mentioned the analytical nature, and you've truly helped a lot of people, what I'm saying, behind the scenes as far as achieving. Obviously, you mentioned the amazing, AustinEvans. You consulted for, we call him the shadow broker of Last Stand Media, Dustin. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Dustin.
Dustin's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's
salute
really
to him.
good.
So it's like, how does it feel like kind of to be relied and respected upon? Because you're also a producer for Austin as well. So like, how does that feel to be entrusted when people come to you and consult to grow their channels and get advice from you?
It's cool. It feels cool to like know that I know a lot about something enough where I'm comfortable talking about it with like authoritatively. Mostly it's just with friends though, so we're already talking about it to begin with, like we're playing Destiny or whatever. Like Dustin and I'll just be like talking about YouTube stuff because he's really interested in it and he's really smart. He knows a lot about it, and most of the stuff he just already picks up on and then asks me if he'll be like, is this how this works? I'm like, yep, like every time. So it's cool just like talking to people about their channels because I don't know, like over the years a lot of people ask for advice and then you give it to them and they either don't follow it or which really gets me. Like if someone asks for advice and then I take time out of my day to like give it and then they don't use them, like why'd you ask? Like, it just frustrates me. And then people who like take your advice and then they get big off of it or
they got Hollywood on you, Jimmy.
You never hear from again. I'm like what is that? Like I don't care because that's like it would have happened anyway at that point. They would have gotten too big to still talk to people, but I don't know. So stuff like that used to bother me. So I wasn't helping people for a while, but then I met Dustin and we would play games, just talk. And then I would just keep meeting people like through him, bringing people into the chat. So it all worked out. And then our mutual friend, Jake Baldino, I helped him out a lot too.
Jake is cool.
Me and him have been grinding hard on his personal channel for like the past year. And I think it's going good.
Good dude, man. I love hearing these stories. That's pretty awesome. What I was gonna say too is obviously you said we had that conversation about helping people. It's funny when we meet you saw us kicking it. And I wanted to talk about the other podcast, which is the Fear Frequency podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to your amazing co-host George, who I believe was there, right? At the speaker.
Yeah, my best friend George.
Yeah, we was getting our drink and cigar on, you know what I'm saying? So salute to George and all that. So like, how did that whole thing start as far as Fear Frequency and like a weekly horror podcast?
Yeah, so we kind of like wound it down just because it was, I'll explain it. So like we started the podcast because I was out here in LA, George was in Michigan. We've been best friends since like 6th grade and we wanted a reason to like kind of catch up every week because we play completely different games. He's not a multiplayer guy. He's like a hardcore JRPG guy. Not really even a shooter guy. So we were always playing different stuff, wanted an excuse to talk. So we started up the podcast and it like grew and grew and grew. And it got to the point where I can't put out a crappy product. So I was spending like 5-6 hours a week editing it. I was like, I need this to make money or I can't like justify it just because I got so much going on right now.
Yeah.
And then I just like noticed with podcasts, unless you've got like a real audience, like you guys are public. So it's like everyone knows like a lot of guys watch your podcast, but there's other ones that are just audio. And I noticed that a lot of them sell their ads and stuff based on downloads, and downloads don't mean listens. And I was like, I looked at my phone and I was like, how many people are like subscribed to a podcast and it's downloading every week and they haven't listened to it since the first time they subscribed to it? I'm like, probably a lot.
That's a good point.
So it just kind of like wound down because we were every week on Shudder, the streaming service. They do this thing called The Last Drive-In, and they run this show for long seasons at a time, and they do holiday events. So we would get on Discord and we would stream it in our Discord chat and then talk there. So it was like, oh, we're doing what we started the podcast to do, and it's so much less frustrating. So we kind of wound it down a little bit, but it was really fun. We were covering a lot of movies. We had a few scoops come out of it. We were interviewing filmmakers. It was pretty fun. And then once I started getting into making movies more, it got a lot harder to criticize other people's work because I was like, I know how much goes into this, and we were watching a lot of indie stuff, and I didn't want to flame other people's stuff. You never know,
you never know.
You don't know what happened to screw up one part of a movie. So.
Big time. Love it, man. Love the past. I'm sorry,
real quick back onto the filmmaking stuff. How was it making that Halloween fan film, the first one?
Man, it was fun. My buddy Cortland, who I made it with, this all started because I wanted to make like a 5-minute video, like a very short, just fun little Halloween clip to put up on the day that Halloween Kills was supposed to come out last year. Just be like, here's something to watch. And then it just snowballed. Like we were like, oh, what if we did this? What if we did that? We kind of wrote this whole script that wrapped around as like a trick or treat style thing. We're like, this is gonna be sick. And then Vinny from Womp Stomp Films, the guy did Never Hike in the Snow, he has played Michael Myers in other short films, so he hit us up and he wanted to play Michael, so we were like, got that figured out. And then the smartest thing we did, we shot it in Michigan, so everything was essentially free that we used except for like the cameras and stuff. We had to pay for that's all of our equipment. So what we would do is we had a pickup truck and a generator and like one light on a big pole, and then we would like roll up to a cornfield, jump out, and we'd sit there for like 3-4 hours film. That high school, that was an abandoned high school in Cornfield's hometown. So we shot there. No one said anything. House
shout out to the no permits. Shout out.
Yeah, the graveyard. We just rolled up at like 2 a.m. Shot there all night. We left all those pumpkins there. So we left
if you guys,
I apologize for Jimmy when you came to your loved one's gravesite there, and you thought you were being trolled.
But for you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, right? It's you look at it, and you're like, oh, this has such amazing production value, and it is just like they were in the location. Like it felt like, yes, we are in Haddonfield. Like this is it. Like. it was just so perfect, like the lighting. There was even there were moments. Did you have a fog machine or was
that's oh my god, the fog machine came in clutch. It's this fog machine I bought at a garage sale for like $20. It has like a skull on the front of it, but we took the skull off, and it's like a movie quality, like big movie quality fog machine that I got for $20, and it sat in the back of my car for like 4 years. We're like, hope this works, and it worked great. It worked perfect, and it had like quick charge time. And then, dude, the best part is in that graveyard, that shot where we have Michael like slamming the guy, my friend Ryan, on the tombstone. He actually hit him on the tombstone once, and the mask, like that buddy mask, cracked in half. And then
my god!
His head came up, and he was like cross-eyed because he got hit in the head so hard on the gravestone. And he was like in the movie.
He's like, I hope you're okay, but we're using that. We're using
we're like,
let's stay in
practical effects. Damn it, practical effects.
So we were staying up. We would stay up until like 4 or 5 in the morning because we were using all the dark time. And then the next morning, we like go to wake him up, and he's like not answering. We're like, oh, shit, we killed him. And he's like, and then he just turns over and he's like, I'm fine. We're like, okay. Sorry, I swore. Sorry,
no, it's cool. It's Lord's Day. You give it one. You know what I'm saying? But nah, salute, bro. Like
I feel like that was warranted. We thought we killed our friends.
Yo, absolute hilarious. Continue. Just
the most money I spent. I'll run and grab it. It's like right here. The most money I spent was on this mask. Like I paid like a lot of money to get this mask like redone for it.
Oh wow!
And then so it's like this is the Trick or Treat Studios one that you buy for like $60. The sculpt on it is perfect, but the paint is terrible. So if you get it repainted and like the hair redone, it is very similar to the one in the movie. So he's getting the mechanics jumpsuit and weathering that was really that was expensive. And then I got these custom prop knives made for the movie. I got 2 of them. Those were really expensive. You think like just this prop aluminum knife would be cheap, but getting it done right costs a lot of money. So I spent the most money on that.
So the one that gets broken off.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about. The one was that one of those, or was that?
Yeah. So I got 2 of them, and we sawed it in half to make that effect. Wow. That effect was honestly really easy. Like, it was very simple to do. It was just like latex, right? And then George, when George is dead, when he's got his like the fire poker in him, that's just latex stuck to him, and then we put like raw meat all over him.
Oh my god!
And then when the kid gets cut in half, that is the easiest effect we did, but I think it came out pretty good. That's like an adult dummy where we pinned up the arms, put it in the clown costume, and then we just cut the dummy in half and put expanding foam at the bottom and painted it red, and then we nailed venison to it. And
wow!
Poured a bunch of fake blood, and it's a Donald Trump wig on there.
Oh my god!
So we got his spirit Halloween, and then
I love it.
So we just got really crafty with it, and I think all in, Cortland and I each spent $1,000, which we feel is a lot less than it looks like it costs. So that was the goal. So it was a lot of fun. It was a year ago, like this weekend we did it. In September. So we quick turnaround.
That's what's up, man. Salute to you, man. Love the journey with film, and I'm assuming there's more coming, and you got more plans, things cooking up in the film.
Yeah, I've got. COVID makes it hard, which sucks, obviously. I gotta have a good idea. Now I want to kind of do original stuff, and I've got like some ideas for there. But PS Ready, man, is taking up so much of my time.
Hot right now.
So once that gets to the point where we're gonna stop grinding, then I'll like when we're coasting, then I'll get back into the filmmaking and stuff like that. But I'm always watching movies. It's kind of, honestly, as much as I love doing the podcast, it's kind of been great not doing it, because now I don't feel like I have to be critical. And now I can go back to what I like doing, which is like, what is this movie's goal and did it achieve it, instead of, oh, well, I saw the CGI was a little off there. Docking points for that. I hate that.
I hear you, brother. Real quick, Black Roan, before we move on. Black Roan says, what movie are they talking about? They want to know how they can get access to it, where they can find it, what's going on.
Oh, you just go to my YouTube channel. It's Jimmy Champane. You can type it with the G now, and it'll come up. And it's the first video. It's pinned right there. It's called Happy Halloween. How Halloween Kills Fan
Put it in the chat, y'all. So y'all can
it's
check
like
it out.
13 minutes.
13 minutes. Get your boy Jimmy in, man. Salute. I love the unique, like I said, the horror, the filmmaking, the gaming, PS Ready. But with all that, we still got to ask you the question that we ask everybody in the realm. I need Lord Jimmy Champane's top 5 video games or franchises of all time.
Okay. Uncharted, we'll put at 5, just because there hasn't been a game in a while, so it's not like fresh. But I remember, man, I loved Uncharted. Uncharted 1 and 3. 2 I also really like. I think a little, I don't want to say overrated, because it's like that implies that it's not amazing. But I think people give that one way more credit than 3, and I think 3 is better. And then 4 is awesome. And Lost Legacy. So
Uncharted series.
That's 5. We'll do Metal Gear Solid, because Vita and PSP, man. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. That is the game. That's probably my most played game ever. And then you were talking about how the Vita could connect to the PS4 and PS3. I had my PS3 still. I had Metal Gear HD collection on the PS3, and I figured out a way to transfer the saves for Peace Walker between Vita and PS3.
Okay.
So I could pick up on the TV. It was so weird. It was like such a weird process you had to do, but I figured it out. Felt really cool about it. And then so that's 2. Metal Gear Solid. Love that. Resident Evil. Gotta go with that. Because Resident Evil 4 is my like first big horror game. Love it. What do I play a lot? Oh, we'll go with Dishonored. I love Dishonored.
Okay.
Yeah, Dishonored's great. I play those games all the time. And then,
Mm-hmm.
dude, toss up for number 1 game ever. It's like really, really hard. You got like Left 4 Dead 2. You got Evil Within 2. I think is like one of my favorite games ever. That game's so underplayed and underrated. I'm looking at my Steam right now. Control.
Okay.
Oh man, there's so many games recently that like I'm like, this is my favorite game. This is my favorite game. Hotline Miami we can go with.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I like a lot of violent, crazy, gory.
I like the murder.
Games. Yeah.
Salute.
And then Halo. Well, what my favorite game of all time is? We'll go with Halo 2. Halo 2.
Halo 2? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Salute, man. Salute, man. Tremendous game history. I got to ask you a bonus round question because you're a unique guest. So you don't have to do 5.
We were gonna miss. Okay, never mind.
No, my bad. No, go. Okay,
no. Go do what you're gonna do. I there's something about him that we didn't speak about. I don't know if you purposely omitted that.
Okay, no. We could do what I'm gonna do now, and then you carry on what I didn't speak on. So bonus round, you don't have to do 5, but at least top 3 horror movies of all time.
Okay, Halloween for sure. Evil Dead 2013.
Okay,
that's like, oh man, it's so good.
Let's go.
And then I want to pick. Now, see, the third spot's where you get the biggest pool.
Yeah.
I gotta think. I don't want to do Evil Dead 2 because I already said Evil Dead 2013.
Okay.
I gotta pick a Halloween-ish movie. Oh, Trick or Treat. Easy.
Trick or Treat.
That's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Duh. I watch a movie all the time. How did I not think of that immediately?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, I love it. Solve. You want to continue now?
Yeah, no. Because look, you guys need to follow Jimmy for all the things we've talked about up until this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our audience may recognize him from a recent video.
Oh, you're talking about the Austin Evans.
I know that guy from somewhere.
We doing that song? We doing that?
I talked about it so much. Okay. No, I got the talking points down.
He got his points ready.
So
okay, let's get it.
If you guys recognize him, Jimmy is the wingman on the Austin Evans video.
Here, if I stand like this.
Your arm was lit in the video.
Arm.
Shout out to your arm and the shirt.
Thank you.
So I know we talked about this. We talked about this briefly when we met up a couple of weeks ago. But like, what is the reaction sort of to you being after that whole? So I don't want to call it a debacle because it's just up and down. People had different opinions or whatever. But what did your profile change at all? Like after that,
everyone ignored me. No one even cared.
So Austin caught the smoke for the cooling issue, and
you know what's
you got free.
The amount of people who came after him was tiny. It was like a tiny amount of people on Twitter specifically. On YouTube, that video is like almost 100% positive comments, great views, great likes. Everyone's like, great, thanks for letting me know. Like this isn't it's all the people who saw the opportunity for free views that blew it out of proportion on Twitter. You know how it always goes. And then they want to grind it. Like, I don't know. I don't want to climb it up. But Review Tech USA, man, that guy hit it so hard. He made like 5 videos out of it. I'm like, I couldn't do that if I tried. I don't know. So that was funny because Dustin and I thought it was so funny. We were going back and forth, like we were watching all the videos together, and with Locke, shout out to Locke. We were all going through it, and I don't know. I don't think anything we said was that egregious because I know at the end, I don't. Austin edited it, so I don't know if he cut it, but at the end, I'm like, I know we said like, yeah, if you're at the store and you have the opportunity to buy the new one, buy the new one. Like it's not going to make that much of a difference over time. And of course, no one watches that part.
No, they just talk about like it's worse or whatever, or they infer that it's worse.
And the only thing we knocked Sony on for it was just not saying anything about it. It's like you made a major change to your console's hardware, and you're selling it for the same price. I just feel like they could have said something, like even if they spun it in a positive way. There are a lot of ways, like positive ways to spin it.
There is absolutely no positive way to say that we selling you a hotter console.
A hotter console.
Yeah, right.
But in fairness, Digital Foundry did come out and say that, you know, that it, you know, it runs, you know, as similar as not that much of a difference or whatever. But
the funny thing is like,
why? Okay, time out. Hold on, not letting them get away with that.
That's literally what they came out.
No, they said that.
Did you see their second video?
Why? I'm just repeating what you mean. Getting away. I didn't do anything. I'm just repeating what they said.
It's the fact that when it's these certain individuals, we're just gonna poo-poo it. It's not that much. It's just a couple of degrees hotter.
No,
that's not a thing. When Xbox was running at a perceived degrees hotter, and then it came out that it wasn't. Oh, they're burning it up. The heat wave is happening, and now the situation is reversed. So we're not going to.
Pretty sure Austin started the Xbox controversy too.
Yeah, probably.
Because he called when we did our Series X video, because we got the thing way early.
Yeah, I remember. I saw the picture. You were in the building.
I love the look on Jimmy's face when he says, "I'm pretty sure Austin started that too."
Garbage. He was like the heating or like the cooling of the Series X is garbage town or whatever his phrase is. I think that's what he said.
When I watched Jimmy, when I watched that video, all I saw was like Austin just saying, "Yo, this is harder." That's all I saw. Like I didn't really see him like, "Oh, don't buy this." Like I saw was like, "This is just harder," you know.
And the heatsink is smaller. Yep.
Yeah, the heatsink's smaller. The console gets a little harder, and he didn't even really act like. Yeah, I saw people like on Twitter saying that he said it's gonna shut down. It's like he never said that. Like,
that's their own.
People were cutting together clips from other videos to make it look like he said like stuff that he straight up just didn't say, which is wild. And you know what? Is the PS5 worth it video we did, the review. He is so positive on the PS5, and the Xbox gets a lot of criticism, which to be fair, we had the Xbox for so long. We had it for months. So and we were like, we revealed it, we got an early unit, we like got it again early, we had to send back our like beta unit and get a retail one. So we had enough time with that console to really pick it apart. With the PS5, it was all first impressions, and he loved it. Like he had nothing but good things to say about the PS5. So yeah, I don't know.
But you know how this goes, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because
I'm sitting pretty.
You guys, you receive the unit. You know now they're saying you're on the payroll. Phil's got the Lambo outside your house. That's how it goes, Jimmy. One negative comment.
Yeah,
I love how Jimmy shut a lot of them down when he was like, "Look, like for you saying, oh, I didn't make this amount of content for PlayStation 5. I didn't get a review unit. Like if I would have got a review unit, it would make more sense for you to make that type of content because that's more searched on YouTube."
I wish we wanted a review unit. We bought a DualSense. Same thing we did with this new PS5. We bought a DualSense for like $1,000 on eBay, and we got the new controller like when everyone like IGN and all these people had their PS5s and they couldn't talk about it. We had the DualSense. We did a video on it, and that pissed all them off. They came after Sony and they were like, the video's out. Like people are talking about this like DualSense. Like why can't we? And Sony called, and there's like some words back and forth, and the video's still up. So take that how you will. But so we like. And you know what's funny? That video was super positive too. We were like, this controller feels next gen. It's
do you feel pressured to say positive things about Sony and fear of backlash? No, I mean like
watch my channel.
This is not the first time I've heard. Sony has done. You have put up a video. Somebody's put up a video, King, and if it's not a glowing review, these certain individuals will call and have
King, are you implying that because any negative Sony comments are made that something may happen, that there are repercussions for that?
I mean, they didn't get a review unit. I feel like that should speak for itself.
So I can say we're not going to get one in the future.
They didn't get a review unit, and the unit that they did get was like date, and we got to give the impressions right then and there. I just feel that if somebody's going to talk the truth about something, and they don't get a review unit because they are fearful that the truth will be told about said console. I don't know.
I personally feel like when it comes to the whole argument, people's like, if they got review codes, review units, that look, in that case, don't watch anything ever. Don't look at anything. Don't read any reviews. Don't read any product reviews, because all of these people got review units for the most part.
That's what they do the channel for. But in contrast, you had two Xbox Series X's. You had a beta unit, and then you had the retail unit that was listen, you can review this, and then we're going to ship out this one that is actually what everybody else is going to get. And say with it as your wilt. And I just feel like that's a better practice. I don't think
that was way better. Sony, I know even the people who got the review units for the PS5 got them like really late. I think like a week. I want to say, I don't know.
That was on purpose. I'm gonna be real with you.
So Jimmy, the Xbox did it great.
So Jimmy, like if you got a movie to talk about, and they gave it to you the day before the movie came out, it kind of would like make you go, right? Like, what?
Yeah, that can work negative too, though, because like your first impression. There's a lot of movies where I see it, and my first impression, I come out there, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. But then it sits with you. Like Malignant would definitely be one of those movies where a week later, like like first gut check on that one, I'm like, that was nuts. Like what that was not what I was expecting. But then you start to like it more as you think about it, right? So with movies, it's a little different, but I think, I don't know, like having the Xbox that long was sweet because we could play Xbox games, we could play Xbox One games, we could play 360 games, we could test everything on it. And to be fair to Sony, there's not much you can really test on that console other than PS4 games and like PS5 games.
Like the biggest thing that just like is crazy is just like, look, like people can't speak their opinion about anything because it's like the moment you speak your opinion, you're put in two camps. You can't like I understand that, and it's crazy how the industry works. And I personally feel like, I don't know about you, Jimmy, but I personally feel like there are scenarios where companies will put out maybe not necessarily consoles, but I think it happens a lot in games where they're like, let's give them the review code the day before it comes out, so they're gonna rush the review and not really let it sink in. Like
I don't know firsthand, but dude, I can totally see that happening. Like I don't know, with the PS5, I feel like that console is coming in hot anyway, right? Like
no pun intended.
Oh my god, Jimmy, I was trying to save you from this.
Can of worms
I'm trying to save you for this. So keep going back into it.
Let Jimmy do what
let Jimmy do what Jimmy got to do.
Well, no, I thought you guys wanted to talk about it, so I'll let you keep talking about it.
No, listen. He's talking his truth. You gotta let Jimmy talk, baby.
The stage, Jimmy.
Well, since we're arguing this, I did.
Jimmy was saying something. Hold on, sir.
Stupid. Everything that I don't like about the PS5, I was able to pick up on immediately. But that wasn't my video. It was Austin's video. It was his first impressions. The Xbox, still his first impressions, his video. So I can't talk to what he's saying. But if you ask me which console I would have gone with, like day one, because I mainly play on PC, I would have gone with the PS5. But if you ask me like which one was most buttoned up at launch, I don't think you could really make an argument against the Xbox Series X. Like that was I saw it so early too, running games great that they just knew what they were doing with it, which not to say that Sony doesn't, but I've had every Sony console I've had. I'll be honest with you guys, I have a PlayStation channel, so take it with a grain of salt, whatever. Every Sony console I've had ever has had some critical hardware failure within 4 years. My PS3 Blu-ray laser broke. My PS4 launch unit, the fan went out, which was super annoying, like trying to get that fixed. And especially since you guys know I have to work hard when I was younger to get all this stuff. Absolutely. Then my PS4 Pro, the Blu-ray laser broke within a year and a half, which is nuts. And then I'm finding out they're doing the same thing they're doing with this PS5. They have so many different PS4 Pros. It's insane how many revisions of the PS4 Pro they were. I just got unlucky, I guess, where one breaks. My Vita battery went out. There's always something with these consoles, right? My Xbox, the 360, I got the red ring, but you got to look at the one I got. It was a used unit from GameStop. So like, what refurbishments are they doing on that? It was a launch one, and every Xbox 360 got the red ring. So it was just a critical hardware problem. Ever since then, never had a problem with the Xbox console. And I've had an Xbox
Jimmy,
One
S.
What
I'm going to tell you is, I'm going to tell you, get that other side and come over to us, and over here we
come over to us. What is this, a recruitment? What the hell?
Because listen, like from your own admission, they've been treating you right. So the PlayStation's been breaking down, and Jimmy, I want you to game in a better space. No, I'm just messing with you. Better space. I'm just messing with you.
To be real, most of the stuff I play is on PC anyway.
I only had one PlayStation mess up on me, and really to fix it. To be honest with you, I always thought their hardware was done really well. I can't lie on that. It was my PlayStation 3, and I saw this like yellow light, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Right? What's going on? But then they told me it was the laser, and you know, they fixed it really quickly. I got it back really fast. But I've never, and I can't lie on them. You know, I always thought their hardware was pretty decent, but
it
you know,
looks so good.
You say that, I was like, wow.
Dude, and it's different for me because, you know, I didn't have a lot of money, so I was like, no, like I'm not going to be able to just go fix it if I have to pay for it. It's always out of warranty when it happens, and it's like, man, well, crazy. guess I don't have a console right now.
No, and that sucks. And again, salute to you guys. You know, in reference to at least pointing out one thing I think is lost in all of this, and to Saab's credit, which I am glad he brought up, because I was definitely not going to bring this up. Saab forced this issue, and salute to him for making a great segment, because Saab does make great segments when he does. But I think what it is you guys don't get enough credit for pointing out the fact that there even was a revision, because let's be honest, without your guys reporting, regardless of whatever cooling situation, we wouldn't have known the image change. So I think that's lost to this. Salute to you guys for doing the research. I did want to ask real quick, I know we stay along on this, but when you guys with the Series X, were you part of that with Austin, part of that team when they got it early, like with Jason Ronald and everyone in the room, or how did that work? I was just curious about that.
So there's a video on Austin's channel called Building the Ultimate Xbox or something like that. It's like it's got a cool thumbnail, like all the Xboxes, it's yellow. I wrote that video, and I went up to Microsoft and I interviewed a ton of people there. Like, so all the interview footage you see in that video is me. Okay, so I wrote like a book. Like I could take the script for that video and turn it into a book, and then that was used like as like an example of like why we do good work, right? So that's how we got to go with Digital Foundry and do the Series X thing. So I was there.
Nice.
That one I didn't do much on. I was just kind of there, you know, like.
So using a room though, that's dope, man. New console, next gen, like.
I played State of Decay 2, and I did the hot switching between the games. I was like,
quick resume when you do it. Okay, nice.
I was like, so that was just fun, you know. I was getting paid to just hang out there, and then by the time all the consoles came into work, I was mainly working on the second channel, and I was doing a lot of editing there, and those are longer videos, triple cams, so the editing would take up a lot of time. So I was like in the office, but that was just largely like Austin just kind of doing his own thing, because when I was working with Austin, I was just like editor, you know. I was editing most of the videos. I was in the office, but when you're editing like 8K footage and all this stuff, it's a lot of work, you know. So it's not like it's a fun job, right? It's a cool job. It's not like a regular job, but it's work. So I wasn't around for all the like most of the fun stuff there, but I mean, I don't know. I don't care. Like I think that's like why people like Sacred Symbols, why people have like taken a little bit of a shine to my channel. It's because like I don't like, if you criticize Sony, they just get better, and they respond. They respond pretty well to like criticism. They don't respond with words. They respond just like with silent changes. But you could track like a lot of their biggest controversies having direct results on their future consoles, which I like. I think that's cool. Like prove it, you know, like don't just give me words and say you're going to fix it, blah, blah, blah. Just do it, and don't make a big deal out of it.
There's a demographic of people that feel like doing stuff like that is a sign of weakness, and they need to stick to their guns. And I'm like, no, man.
You want to see me get defensive? We'll talk about Steam. Like, I'm like, I could never do a channel about like PC gaming or Steam, because I'd get so defensive. I'd say stupid shit. Or, dang it, I'd say stupid crap. I'd be like, but. Yeah, the consoles are fun because it's like you can look at them from the outside and be like, oh, which is better? But I think Xbox has improved a lot.
No, salute to you, man. And I know.
Yeah, well, they have to improve if they're losing. So
salute, man. Now, Jimmy,
I mean, that's how we got the PS4. That's how we got all the best exclusives on the PS3. That's how. Like, that's the PS3 not doing well is why Sony is where they are now. I wish they would remember. Dude. Beginning of PS4 generation Sony is like peak Sony in my lifetime. Focusing on indies, focusing on awesome like niche exclusives like Bloodborne. We'll never get a game like Bloodborne again. I know people are holding out hope. Everything they're telling you right now, they're saying no. Big budget, big seller games. That is not Bloodborne. Like Bloodborne has a small dedicated audience. Like big for a Souls game, small compared to Sony's other stuff. So like when Sony loses, we win. It's like Alien versus Predator.
No, salute to you, man. Again, love the transparency, love what you're doing in this space. You know, again, the unique combination with the producing, the YouTube, the horror, the filmmaking, tremendous history, man. We got to move on and get into these topics, but I definitely wanted to salute you on that. And solve real quick. We got to get these super chats before we move on.
Let's get them. Let's get them. That many.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let me run back for a moment.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
We have Face 23, $20 super chat. Thank you, sir. PS5 Kraken Tech is doing wizardry. Watch Dogs Legion latest patch is 3.2 gigs on PS5 and 40.2 gigs on Series X. Do you think this can be a problem for Xbox moving forward?
Okay.
That's a huge difference. So I don't know what.
That's crazy.
That's like ridiculous.
Also,
one
Watch
is
Dogs
doing
Legion.
real 4K and the other one isn't.
Done.
So when you're
Here we go.
checkerboarding, you can actually have less space. That's God bless.
Next question. We got Kruba, $5 in the chat. I listened to the Lords during my night shift, but had to show some love today. Thank you so much, sir.
No doubt.
Also, $2 Kruma. Once again, $2. Also, New York.
Ooh,
okay.
Baby. Salute NY in the building.
Then we have Faisal Hassan, $2 super chat. Have a great show today, Lords. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And we have Sin Vendetta, $5 super chat. Fun fact, the OG Xbox 360 model without the hard drive was called the Xbox 360 Core System.
Yes.
That's right.
The core.
The arcade came later when they were pushing Live Arcade.
In my hood,
4
we call it
gigabyte,
the broke system.
I'm done.
But we will all share
me.
the hard drive.
Jimmy said, that's me.
We will pass the hard drive around. You got the hard drive this week.
Then we have the Mag, $5 super chat. Confirmed Microsoft has acquired SpaceX and Take-Two.
Oh,
GTA
confirmed.
6 will be developed on Mars. Stay tuned for
Yo,
details.
shout out to Mag. We got to get Mag in the real. Mag's hilarious.
Then we have Gerald Mack, $5 super chat. Oh, hell, the ILP. Shout out to Lord King Stradamus for repping the OG with the salt and black pepper beer.
Okay, that's only for today. The Beijing or the Just for Men will be happening.
He was too under the table to make it to the.
That's when you know the margaritas. I mean, the tequila was lit last
I
night.
have a video I have to do with the Modelos. You know what it is.
Salute.
Then we have RRD, $2 super chat. Twitter Spaces are now horse stables with Red Bull. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, that's for okay. So what he's explaining is I was on Game On Daily yesterday, and that's a reference to that
inside
show.
jokes from Daily.
Yeah, please go watch the show.
Shout out to
Got the
Gaz.
gas and Asa, no
salute.
doubt. Then we have Sim Vendetta again, $5
Sin.
super chat. Yes, I'm loving all this Switch slander. Come on, Nintendo. Where's your achievement trophy? Listen, Cog and I have been holding the flag the entire generation.
On their neck.
They've been holding the flag
tell
for
you
Netflix and Blu-ray. I mean, and Bluetooth too.
Oh no, I don't
Leave
care
these
about
guys
that.
alone.
I know what Grandpa is. I ain't trying to have them be something else.
No. I'm trying it. I'm putting the boot on their neck. Improve your damn things. Stop.
Not gonna happen.
Then we have Iron Mike, $5 super chat. King liked The Last of Us 2 story. No wonder he liked Malignant. Lords, get your brother some help.
Well, I understand that you don't like fine wine, so I get you. I understand, sir.
Are you implying that he drinks boons, sir?
Yes, I do moonshine, sir. Moonshine.
Time.
Then we have Beaner, $2 super chat. I'm roasting y'all today with love. Okay.
Yeah, thank
Then
you.
we have Beaner
Mods,
once again.
get the spam. Webcams is back. They out here. Webcam, he trying to promote his product again. Get webcams. You know how he do webcams. Thank you, Mods. Continue.
And we have Beaner commencing with the smoke. $5 super chat. Cog is broke because he buys so many shirts because his massive biceps tear all the ones he has. Boom, roasted.
Oh, you out here roasting?
Then we got Beaner again, $5 super chat. Attic has to have a desk job because he has a bad back from carrying that giant iguana all his life.
Jesus. He out here roasting the Lords and paying to do it.
Then we have Hargeet Shani, $5 super chat. King, it's like you said, people have become soft. The people that complained about Austin's video can't take any criticism of PlayStation. Sad.
This is absolutely
with a sad
true.
face.
You missed one. You're not missing the King slander. Okay.
Oh wait, I forgot to copy paste that one.
Yeah. King caught the wreck from Beaner too.
And we got Beaner, $5 super chat again. King, Sideshow Statues doesn't love you for you. They only want all that money that you have in your face.
Oh, this is true. I don't have any Sideshow. This is XM. Please step your game up. Thank you, sir.
So I haven't gotten roasted yet, so I don't know whether to be relieved or offended, but that's fine. I'll leave it right there. Let me see. Let's put the crest in the chat for Lord Star Killer, Xbox Series X 1. Put the crest in the chat.
No doubt.
Then we have Sin Vendetta once again, $5 super chat. Man, don't drive that stack so hard into my bloodborne-filled heart.
Oh yeah, the steak in the heart.
The steak,
man.
it says stack. Okay,
yeah, I know what he mean. I know Sin is a huge horror fan, huge Dark Souls guy. So when Jimmy was talking that Bloodborne, it hit the soul. I understand.
Well, you're not getting another one. Play the old one again.
Jesus, at least give him a 60 frames.
You might get a remake. No, you might get a remake in PlayStation 9.
Oh, Doug. You know. What did you say? No more PlayStations?
No,
John,
it's
brought that up in the chat.
It's going to be a cloud console, man. Come on, man.
Someone put in the chat last week during the
that way it can't break on Jimmy.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, right.
Wow, the cloud can't break on Jimmy.
Every time I hear the disk drive spin up, I'm like, I heard it during Malignant. It was spinning up. I'm like, Ghost of Tsushima. Why are you?
Why are you spinning?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was like, what's happening here? You just checking the
Jimmy, stay
I'm
away.
paranoid.
They already mad with you, Jimmy. I'm trying to save you, Jimmy. You keep going back into the fire, into the smoke.
You were trying to save Jimmy from this.
He's about to smoke. Jimmy's about to smoke.
This stuff.
Yeah, I see.
it. It's fun.
Anyway.
All right, then we have Lord Star Killer once again, $10 super chat. Absolutely fantastic show, Iron Lords. Thank you, my brother.
Salute,
appreciate it. Salute. And then we have Stitch with the $5 super chat. Saab, don't feel bad. We just respect old people. Just saying. I'll take that roast. I'll take that roast.
So we caught up on the chat?
Yes, sir.
I just want to give shout out to the merch. Shout out to Black Ronin. Yeah. He got the classic pullover hoodie. He said, try to let them bulls know if they don't come correct, this is what they get. He bought the Throw 'em in the Bushes hoodie. And then we got the Lognet ZGL7. He got the Snapback Lognet. He said, salute to the Lords. Cypher Pole 92. He got the Net Gator. So, don't rob, don't do no criminal activity.
Exactly. Don't do any
Net Gator.
I'm going to tell you,
not say Iron Lords when you run around with Net Gator.
If you're going to do something, be infamous.
Out here. All right. But man, Cypher Poe also got the snapback. Salute to y'all for supporting the merch. And I think one more came in. So
we got, Master Clown X3, $20 super chat. Next time, say something, sir. Please, we thank you. Appreciate it.
No doubt. Put it regular, we'll read it.
No doubt. So let's get into it. So last week's poll results are in. The people have spoken. With the recent announcements of Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine developed exclusively for PS5, do you think Xbox also needs to have its own Marvel/DC AAA superhero game? The winner at 52% of the vote, pretty close, of the three-way joint was yes. With Microsoft's resources and reach, there is no reason why this successful genre is lacking in their portfolio. Coming in at second at 29% of the vote was no. Xbox doesn't need to copy Sony's template for success and should continue to develop their own diverse experiences. And in last place, the Messy Lords, 22%. I don't care, but if Xbox don't get #just1, Cog is about to flip on everybody. Salute to the messiness. You already know, Sov, you are the victor this week.
Yes, sir.
How are you feeling about the people saying that they want?
Yeah, I got it right. You know why? Because the two things don't need to be mutually exclusive. It don't make no sense. Why there 130 million PlayStation 4s out there? It's not because of Nathan Drake, and it's not because of Ellie. It's because of Spider-Man.
113 people, 113 million people did not buy the game. Stop acting like that.
The people are smoking time.
Buy one W.
I
No,
gotta push back, man. People bought PlayStation 4s for the 2Ks, for the Maddens, for the. They didn't buy it to buy Spider-Man. Like, there's a lot of people that did.
Did they buy it? Did they buy it because of Spider-Man more than because of The Last of Us? Yeah, they did.
The people have spoken.
The people have spoken, and the people are absolutely wrong.
King and Addict gotta hold these L's.
Hold these L's and stay in third third place. There you go.
So, no, the only L that I would be holding is if Spider-Man was the #1 sold game on PlayStation 4, and it wasn't.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry the people didn't agree with you.
It's so
20 million copies.
It's so more than The Last of Us, though.
Didn't they put Spider-Man in bundles though? Did they do that?
Talking to the losing team.
I know. I don't know why I'm addressing.
Why are we addressing this? This has been done already.
He goes away.
It's crazy. You win one week and you're a superstar. It's crazy.
I'm just saying though. I've been right all along.
Okay.
Moving on. Let's get Star Killer. Then let's get the topic, please.
Star Killer, $5 super chat. Let's have Microsoft acquire WB Games.
All right. Yes. That'd be perfect.
Leading.
That'd be perfect.
Did we get that master plan with the $20?
Did we get the master? Yeah.
We
all right. No doubt.
Spider-Man is the only successful
the losing
superhero
team
game.
is still talking.
It happens.
Anyway, let's get into it, man. A lot of topics. Lord Addict, this is you. Deathloop, man. You know, you probably one of the most experienced here on the panel. Beat the game.
Finish the game.
So let's just break it down.
That game
man.
came out?
Oh,
Is it Game Pass?
It
What's
is.
happening here?
It is a PS5 exclusive.
Oh, and it came out on PC. It is on Xbox. God bless.
Anyway, so Addict, man, talk to us, man. A lot of stuff about this game, a lot of feedback. So tell us your experience, man. What's going on with it?
I don't know. Jimmy, did you play any Deathloop?
Yeah, I'm like
I'm pretty sure you said you did.
Hour and a half,
much?
2 hours in.
Okay, so
I've got the blink. I've got the double jump. I fought Juliana once, and I killed her. It felt pretty good. It's a good game, and it's exactly what I wanted out of it. I was like Dishonored, a little more focused and linear because it's a shooter. That's what I want with guns, and I think they're doing a good job. The shooting feels good. I had to put the FOV up to make it feel right because on PC it's got some issues with
stutter.
But I guess it's not really stutter. I guess it's just like how the mouse movement works. It's like specifically with mouse and keyboard. So I found out how to fix it with like VSync or whatever. But
So you played it on PC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You played the superior version.
First-person
I like that.
Why is it?
Who uses?
All right, let's go down. Let's not go down.
We're here for Addict's review of this.
We're here about gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay, please tell me more because I like that mouse and keyboard thing.
Lord Nixon.
The way we normally do this is Cog ask some questions. Do you have any questions to ask?
So like pretty much I want to get into obviously the core mechanics of the game, and then I do want to ask you, not that there's a controversy, but obviously it's doing well. But I would be remiss if I did not talk about my Defining Duke co-host, Mr. Batty Plays. He had put a video out. He got some pushback, right? And he's a huge Arcane fan. And in his opinion, he said, great game, but he just said that as far as an Arcane game, he was slightly underwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? In comparison to the other masterpieces that Arcane gets. So the first question, and then comparison, because obviously you played Dishonored, all that stuff as well too.
So the first question was about the gameplay.
Yeah, gameplay and the fact that is it warranted? Like the overall consensus
is like an arcade game.
Okay,
it's definitely an arcade game.
Okay.
Like, I like they incorporated like a kind of a multiplayer faction in there. Jimmy was talking about Julianne attacking you, so like pretty much what it is there is a yin to your yang pretty much, and she would just pop up at a random, which is funny. There's only like 5. Did you know there's only 5 or 6 stages she can actually invade you on during the day, like time of the day? Like she can't invade you in everything. Like she can only do it in certain times.
That's probably good, right?
Yeah. What's funny is like the game's overwhelming at first, like extremely overwhelming, but then once you like start honing down what's going on, what you need to do, then it's a lot easier to like incorporate. Like, they're like, keep restarting this day over and over again. You don't understand why this day's restarting. You got to figure out why you keep losing your memory to it because you've been doing this for a long time apparently. And what I like about it is just like, they incorporated a lot of Arcane stuff into the game to where it, originally you don't have blink. Usually when it comes to these type of games, the moment you get the mark of the outsider for like Dishonored, you pretty much get blink off the start. Like that's the incorporated move of arcade games. But on this one, you don't have none of that. Like, you have to there's visionaries in the game. There's people, it's in the trailers, so it's not really spoiling. You got to assassinate a certain amount of people they all have these things called slabs and their abilities.
Okay.
And pretty much all these abilities is from Dishonored, just slightly altered.
Okay.
And what's funny is like they didn't. I'm just like my biggest issue with the game is like I don't even 100% agree with Maddie when it comes to this, but like I'm like if you're going to straight up take Blink and stuff from Dishonored, why don't you just do something different? Like they try to have it be too much like Dishonored to me.
Okay.
Like because it's just like you literally took Blink and instead of calling it Blink, we're gonna call it Shift. And I'm just like I don't agree with that because it's just like look if you're trying to be too much like Dishonored, just make Dishonored 3. But you know, I personally felt like because you know, me and Maddie talked behind the scenes, like when it come to like the ending, I would have liked the ending. Obviously, this isn't the ending.
Yes, please don't.
But I would have liked Deathloop to have been connected with Dishonored. Like when you finally assassinate all the people you need to, the outsider shows up and he's the real villain, and this has been connected to Dishonored's universe the entire time. Because I felt like if you're going this above and beyond to put these elements of Dishonored in this game, it makes no sense that they're two separate universes.
Okay.
Like, because
based on this,
really good point.
I see what you say. So you're saying that it's so similar in some respects that you wish it would have been just a Dishonored game, or like just name it.
Well, it's not that I wish it would have been Dishonored. I wish that it would have been in the Dishonored universe
or like a connected universe.
Like you find out that you know they don't even really explain what's going on. Like in terms, maybe it's in like the handwritten notes to the game. You guys don't read that shit, so you know, maybe it's written in there. I don't think it is because I did read a lot of stuff in the game, but it's just like you know the slabs that all the visionaries have. Like where did all that come from? Like, and what's funny is like. The way they assemble on your arm, they assemble the same way the mark of the outsider is. So it's just like to me, a perfect way of doing that would have been like, yo, let's go ahead and say that the Outrider is the one that gave them the powers. The Outrider is the one that established the machine to do it. Right. But it is what it is. Like
it seems like minor-ish complaints. Though you still see like major, like this is an issue.
No, I mean, I think it's an issue because I feel like they try to be too much like Dishonored and it's not Dishonored. Like it would have been different if they took the gameplay, but everything else was different. Like they literally have the abilities from Dishonored in this game. Like,
okay, all right. Fair enough. And then the question I have for you, two more, and then we move on. One in reference to obviously the time loop aspect. I'm a person that's coming from 12 minutes and you know where you have to kind of learn more about it through clues and stuff to try to get to your goal. Like, did you think they implemented that well? Did you think that was a good component to the game? And also the invasion aspect with the multiplayer.
The invasion aspect, it can be very frustrating because I've always felt like arcane games aren't designed to be shooters. They're designed to be stealth-like games that you can be shooters. But when you put another person into that equation that can play the game the way it's not supposed to be played. Like when I see a Julian pop in, because I never put this as friends only, I didn't put it offline only. I wanted that smoke. So when Julian showed up, I knew it was another person. So what I like is you don't know where Julian is and Julian don't know where you are. So there's Julian gets like this notification if like an AI sees you, like Colt. But besides that, you know, everything's pretty even. So like when I see a Julian, I don't try to shoot her because I personally feel like the game wasn't designed to shoot like that. So I will use Blink and just sneak up behind her because I'm not going to shoot you 8 times for you to run away and get your health back when I can literally just keep dashing around the building because you don't know where I am and just assassinate you. Okay. So, you know.
So you're playing it right at that point. Like, yeah, I feel like that's what you should do.
But you know, a lot of these people, what's funny is you could tell a lot of people are trying to like use this for shooting mechanics. Like one time a Julian got stuck up on a hill and she kept shooting down and she thought I was going to sit there and just play peekaboo with a sniper on her all day. I didn't. Like the moment I saw her, I went straight to the left, went right behind her. And you can see in the stream, she didn't know I was there. I just snapped her neck. But there is when you're Julian, it is a lot harder because when you're Julian, you have to kill Colt potentially 3 times. But when you're Colt, you only got to kill her once because she don't come back to life.
So time loop implemented well, and then multiplayer. You said okay, cool, and then
you
got to finish, and now I'll ask one last question.
The time loop, I think the biggest issue I have with the game was the AI and the way that things look. I don't like some people's look like crystals. I don't get that, but you know, I think that. Obviously, it was a budget thing. You know, they put masks on a lot of stuff. We saw that with Compulsion. It's easier to develop if you don't make individual people for individual faces for everything. And I get that, but like some of these designs, have you guys seen some of the designs? Like they look crazy, man. Some people look purple, and I'm just like, I felt like that was the biggest immersion. And then the AI is not the smartest at all whatsoever. Okay. Like I felt like if as long as you're not seen in a certain district, like let's say the place A, you kill everyone there, you could just be shooting everyone. And trust me, these guns are supposed to make noise. You're on a small island. Right. You go to area B, which is literally right beside area A. Everyone walking around like
9.5. Oh yeah, you know. So you got to suspend disbelief with certain things.
Yeah, and I felt like that hurt it in a way because like the knifing ability, like I can literally mow down mad amounts of people, and then just go into the X area, just being stealth like. And I felt like I don't know. I think the biggest issue of the game is just immersion in terms of that, because it makes the game a lot easier when I can just mow you down and they only take a couple shots. Like you take a lot of damage, but they don't take much damage either.
Like almost one shot kill.
So yeah, it goes worth both way. That's why they have perks in here to give you more health, to give you more power, mana, whatever they want to call it on here. And I think that's the biggest issue is the funding should have a little bit better when it comes to making characters look a little bit more unique, and make sure the AI is actually responsive. I think that's the biggest point.
And the last thing was just the big overall question. Obviously, it's getting raves. We've seen some 10s go out there, and then like with the whole hierarchy in Arcane, like where is it at for you with that?
I think it's on the same level as Dishonored. But I will say that without Dishonored, this game doesn't exist. Okay. Because I felt like Dishonored's always been about Arcane for the most part. Besides Prey, I didn't like Prey, but for the most part, it's always been about choosing your route, choosing the way you want to play, assassinating the people, and doing unique, different ways of doing it. Deathloop didn't really have that for the most part. I felt like, they were very narrow. Like, this is how you're going to do this. This is how you're going to do that. Right. That's one of the biggest issues Maddie has, because when it comes to Arcane, you're used to choices and how you want to do
the free for. Yep, I got you.
Once you found out, because they want you to kill them in a certain
specific
way.
Gotcha.
It doesn't matter. Like the way Maddie and I would have personally wanted is like, there's multiple ways to kill all 8 of them.
Yes.
But you have to find the multiple ways. But on here, to my knowledge, there's only one way to kill all 8 of them.
Gotcha.
And people don't like that because that's not like an arcade game. But to me,
yeah,
I don't mind aspects from Dishonored in the game that doesn't have all the aspects from Dishonored. Like they give you aspects to kill everyone multiple different ways, but they didn't give you aspects to kill the 8 people in multiple different ways. So I felt like that was a good balance of both worlds.
No doubt. Shout out to Brap. He said, great insight, Addict. He said, great points with the game. He agreed with it being on par with Dishonored. Dishonored 2 has the same Metacritic. No doubt. Shout out to Star Killer, who just got that classic Tito. I see you, bro. But I just want to I want to get you in.
Yeah, I want to ask Addict, like, so do you think, because the thing about like the past Arcane games, and as a fan of like the immersive sim, is that they can be kind of intimidating to people who don't kind of want all those choices, or afraid to kind of get that sort of fear of like, what do I do when I have this much choice? So do you think this game feels like it's appealing to more people on a wider scale because
I would say yes,
it has been distilled down? Because I think I think Maddie's issue with it is that, like, as hardcore Arcane, like immersive sim guys, it distills it down to a point where it's maybe too simplistic.
Has it been casualized?
Yeah,
I don't think it's been casualized. I do think it's more appealing to certain people because you can what it goes is like the more the story goes, the more the visual, because you don't know who any of the 8 people are at first.
Right.
So you have to constantly do leads to find all 8. To find first, you have to find all 8. Where are they? Who are they? Then you have to find, okay, I can't kill you all in one day. Let me try to get some of you to interact with other ones. and then, you find out 2 of them are having some love affair, and you got to figure out where they shacking up. And then you got to kill both of them at once. Like, I really, I enjoy that kind of aspect. But I do feel like, because in arcade games, it's like, this is where the dude that you got to kill, You got to find out where he is, how to get to him, and if you want the secret one where you don't kill him, you got to figure out how to do that too. None of that was in here. They were very open.
And where you get that when you get there, that's where like you sit there, you observe, kind of like Hitman, like you observe patterns where they walk. Yeah. So in this, it seems like that's kind of been it's there. But you know, with the loop aspect of it, it feels kind of like a roguelike type thing. It also feels like all of these things, it seems like Arcane stepped back for a second and is like, okay, people love our games, but our games never do super well across the board in terms of
they're putting sales before ILP started, like it's selling well.
So it's doing well.
PlayStation.
Okay, that's good. Let's get King in because I'm curious. I think he's in the same boat as me with I'm gonna assume this is gonna be something you're gonna wait on for Game Pass.
You said assume. Somebody told you you're gonna get
like next question.
Next week. You gonna go buy donuts today? I'm not playing that game on PC or PlayStation. Definitely not on the PlayStation. Definitely not on the PlayStation.
Definitely not on the
I would have played it on the superior platform like Jimmy did.
The superior.
The most superior.
For it to come. I can wait for it to come to the Xbox and Game Pass. So no, but thank you guys for beta testing.
Oh my God!
Here we go.
Listen, we do appreciate.
We are kind of beta testing. There is some issues in the game. No joke. There
Work those bugs out, guys. Work those bugs out.
This game is
beta boys moment.
Games.
This game be an Arcane game.
This game's one of the few games that. Like I'm scared to go in my menu sometimes.
Oh my God!
Because sometimes when you sometimes you have to go in your menu to see like, okay, what's the code to this? What's the code to that? There's a lot of auto generate codes where like it will let you auto generate without looking at. But there are certain puzzles. They're like, yo, you got to bring up your maps, look at your notes, and find out what the code is to this particular computer.
The PlayStation can't bring up maps.
Hold on, let me finish.
Come on, kid.
There is a glitch right now. I don't know if it's on PC. I don't know if Jimmy's dealt with it yet, but
Jimmy ain't saying nothing.
I've dealt with it a few times where, like, when you bring up, when you push the little middle button, this button right here, like, it's frozen on that. Like, you can't go any further. You have to reset. And what's funny?
Did you purchase that function? Because you have to purchase the extra functions for the controllers.
Well, the game was already $70, so they made
you. Well, they do have the $80 game, and that's the one that comes with the button function that you don't got.
I don't think that was Deathloop.
Thank you.
I think you're confusing it with another game.
Yes.
I gotta ask you this, King. Do you feel this game, despite being an Xbox Game Studios game, do you feel this game is getting a PlayStation bump in Metacritic?
No, you really gonna feed him with this?
Listen, it's a PlayStation exclusive. They gotta act like that. The PC don't work. Like Jimmy ain't playing it over here.
I'm sorry. I needed to hear this.
They don't really act like Jimmy don't got a keyboard and a mouse and he's getting busy. Like it's only with this controller with the extra tax on it. No, listen. Do you understand how contracts work? I love how contracts work. And
all right, so hold on. Let me interrupt you real quick. Deathloop is 60.
It's 60. Right. There you go. There you go. $60.
PS5 at 60? Really?
Yeah. That's that Microsoft.
I'm assuming.
The Microsoft love.
It's the Microsoft look. That's
they kept it at 60 while y'all pay 70.
Returnal 70.
Yeah, it is, right? That's crazy.
Look, I don't personally think that I don't personally think the 10 out of 10 is ridiculous. I don't understand what people give. Like every time I see a 10 out of 10, all you're doing is making me have more expectations for your game. Like it's just like look, in no world this is a 10 out of 10. It's like an 8.5
They're
best.
Starving for games, bro. So it's gonna be a 10 out of 10, man. If you slide a hamburger across the floor to a starving man, that hamburger is 10 out of 10. Sir. I don't care what anybody say.
Sir,
but again,
they had Ratchet and Clank in Return of the Year, sir.
Okay, it's over with.
No,
it's done.
Okay, King, we'll be messy for a second. We'll be
messy.
Oh,
now we're going to be messy. As if we weren't messy before. Now we're going to be messy. Let's get it.
I'm just going to mute my...
No, Jimmy, you're about to smoke, Jimmy. You can't mute now. You in this.
Jimmy brought... Hold up. Jimmy opened up this door,
yes, we
and now
here.
the chat's
No,
talking
stop
about
it.
We're talking about Returnal versus Deathloop because they both have similar functions. I'm sorry, you guys. Deathloop completely shits on Returnal. They actually use the mechanics. They actually use the. Sorry, they actually use the mechanics of an actual roguelike where you restart the day over and over again. Something like they actually use it the way it's supposed to be used.
Oh, okay.
You can. There's a currency in the game called infuse where you can infuse to keep things that you would normally lose when you die and restart the day where you keep that stuff when you restart the day. There's nothing like that in Returnal for the most part.
Can I ask you a question? This is where it beats Returnal, and I just want to ask you, minus the map
play it,
stuff.
sir?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Since you've played both, how many times have Deathloop crashed on you?
Twice.
Twice. All right. And how many times has Returnal crashed on you?
Probably around the same, if not
Twice.
a little bit more.
So it's a PlayStation problem.
You want me to hit you with something else?
Hold on, Jimmy's not having these issues.
King,
yeah, I never got any issues with Returnal.
By the way,
and I got
something else. Then you want to be messy? I'm gonna give you the messy.
Give it to me.
Ask me which one I've beaten, which one I haven't beat.
Which one you beat?
You beat Deathloop,
and I didn't beat Returnal.
Yeah, because you threw it away because it didn't work. It just
because when I died on Deathloop, I didn't feel like that sense of loss. But when you die on Returnal, I want to uninstall the thing.
Like, I feel you. Listen. First of all, they got really good games. I do appreciate you guys going out and supporting it and putting up those 10s. Listen, without you beta testers, we will not get.
Hold on, King. You know what's funny?
Game Pass.
You know what's funny? PlayStation and PlayStation fans are low key funding a Deathloop 2 for Xbox.
Thank you.
And this is why they say this is an Xbox podcast. This is why I get looped up into this.
Now, question.
Yes.
Does this become part of that quote unquote legacy that Phil's talking about?
No.
You sure?
So we're saying Deathloop 2.
No,
we most likely exclusive.
I think he said
you get it.
To me, if it was that way solved, we wouldn't be getting Deathloop. They've already said it's coming out next year. That was a 1-year timed exclusivity that they got for game.
But what I mean is legacy going forward, just like whatever.
No, you're not getting it over there again. No, this part two is over here. So, listen, you can play Deathloop twice.
You can play your second go around when we get the sequel. You can do
that.
Anyway, salute the King. He had to hijack this.
I gotta be messy, Jimmy. Come on.
I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Please jump in.
Please jump in, Jimmy. Please.
I gotta defend Returnal here.
Let's go.
Because Returnal pulls from so many great horror movies that you got to give it credit. It makes Prometheus cool again.
Yes.
It got me thinking about that movie, which, Prometheus was one where when it came out, people were really negative on it, thought it was weird. But as time has gone on, they've softened up on it. So I feel like with Returnal, you get in that headspace of the precursor type stuff, all that really cool H.R. Geiger imagery. Yep. It's a really good gateway to some good movies. Also, Returnal runs so good now. It really was good at launch for me too. But I know Ben had issues.
Just to clarify real quick, Jimmy, you're saying Returnal is a good game for movie aspects and not for game aspects. Is that what you just said, Jimmy? Well, just tell me exactly what you meant by that, Jimmy.
So, but Deathloop is also pulling from a lot of different types of movies, like 70s style stuff, like how the Suicide Squad just did. Suicide Squad's
Clockwork
remake,
Orange, stuff like that.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange. Yeah. And to be fair to Deathloop, it's doing a better job than We Happy Few. I think it's dialing it in and being more focused.
This game has a lot of We Happy Few feels. It really does. Deathloop does.
That 70s feel.
Yeah, and I like that. But if you're going for vibe between the two, I got to go with Returnal just because it feels like Returnal. You get a little bit more reward out of it. I'd say Returnal, I'm playing more for gameplay and atmosphere. But no, so what you're saying, where you want to throw your controller to the TV when you die after a long run, I live for that. That's what I'm there for. I'm I want to persevere over it. Whereas on Deathloop, it's more of immersive simmy. It's more puzzle solvey. I never feel really challenged by it. I was flying through the first, it took me a very long time to die in my first loop because it's the same thing with Wolfenstein 2, where when that came out, everyone was complaining that is so hard. But if you go for headshots, these guys go down in one hit.
One hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Wolfenstein, they're wearing a helmet, one shot to get the helmet off, and it staggers them. So they're standing in the same spot. You just 2-tap everyone in the game.
Right.
You never take a bullet in Wolfenstein if you do that. So you can kind of game it in Deathloop. You can't really game Returnal. Like, you can get a little bit more of an edge, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's me improving as a player that got me through Returnal.
You feel the challenge is truly there.
I know I'm going to beat it.
Gotcha.
The story is what's at the front. So it's they're two different kinds of games, but I got to defend Returnal. That was a cool Bloodborne style exclusive from Sony that, like, I don't know, we'll never see more of, but it was really cool to get it when we got it. Same kind of timing as Bloodborne 2. So, like, I think
you might get another Returnal after they purchase the studio, after the studio blamed the hardware, It was like, shut them up. We own you now. Don't say that again.
I want more of that. It sucks with the horror on games. I don't really get it. Why AAA horror always feels like it's fighting an uphill battle. Like when The Last of Us 2 is going horror, right? With the gore, the hardcore, like violence and stuff like that. You've got articles coming out every day about, it's like a little too violent for me. It's like,
I know.
Like, why does horror always have to fight this huge
we
battle?
as a society have become more sensitive, to certain aspects of it. So I don't know. I feel the horror aspect when you talk about Returnal, and I see it, and I get the genre that you're going for, and being that you're such a movie buff and you're such steeped in that aspect of it, you would appreciate things of it. Like, you said different movies, and I love Prometheus, so I did get that when I saw it. So I do understand what you're talking about. I can see your appreciation.
Attic, you wanted to counter or say something before?
My biggest issue I had with Returnal is, like, when it comes to starting the game over and over again, I just felt like the only thing I gained was knowledge on Returnal. Like, this dude runs left and not right. Okay, this dude throws these projectiles. You have to dodge these, but you can attack, like, you deflect these. Like, I didn't. When it comes to starting the same thing over and over again, I want to feel like I'm gaining more than just knowledge when it comes to starting the day over again. Like in Hades, I get the knowledge, but I also let me unlock this, so I could take this with me too. Let me unlock this so I could take this.
Yeah, it's a very similar situation with Hades and Dead Cells. So I'm like a Dead Cells evangelist. I'm like, this is the game.
Go,
like, this is
let's
like
go.
that is straight up one of my favorite games of all time, dude. And then Hades, I'm playing it, and I'm dying not because of me. I'm dying because of the game. And it's like you get that feeling that the game wants you to die at certain points, so it can advance the story. Like there's towards the beginning, because I have to restart it every time I go back to it because I lose all the skill, right? You get to a point where you're flying through rooms, and then you get to one room where you just get stomped, and then it's like, I know some big story moments coming up right after this, and then like suddenly a new person's appeared. It's like, I don't like that. I want the game to let me play the game. And the way that Hades is constructed, you can't do it that way because they have to tell the story how they want to tell it. Dead Cells is like, you're this little worm. You're like, this guy's body, figure it out. So that game, you can just jump right in. Every time you play it, you know why you died, and you know what to look for to not die the next time around. Like that's my kind of, that's like why I like games versus movies, the game. Like a good story is a good story. I love good story games. Obviously Uncharted, I mentioned, is one of my favorite, but I love Uncharted because it's the closest a game really ever gets to giving me the same feelings as movies. Same with The Last of Us. Like, Last of Us 2, though, big improvement to gameplay, I thought. Going back into the combat encounters, I do that all the time just to try and get better at it, because when you get animation heavy games like that, sorry, I'm just talking a lot.
No, you're right.
You just assume that it's not going to be tight or like responsive because they're focusing on animations, but the control in The Last of Us 2 is very good. Like, it's very fine. You don't feel like
you're
missing
inputs. Question, Jimmy. When you first saw that trailer, when they showed The Last of Us 2 and they showed Ellie running, she grabbed the bottle, she hit the dude in the head, and
I thought that was fake.
You thought it was fake, right?
Like I thought it was canned, and
actually
then you
did it. Right?
Yeah, and then when my favorite combat encounter to replay is the TV station, because it's got verticality. You can kind of make a run through it, but even if you restart it, you can have a completely different run just because the AI is so good. They're moving different ways. They're kind of interacting with each other. That's what I like.
That's the biggest thing I felt like Deathloop was missing. If that AI would have been like on Last of Us caliber, the game would be completely different. I think part of the issue where you said the game felt too easy in a lot of moments is because the AI was low-key like idiots. Like they just imagine
around,
being seen by one and the whole island knows you there. You know?
Oh man, that I don't like.
That's what I felt like. I felt like what was gonna happen is like if you kill the first one, the other ones would be led on to what you're doing, but you never really get that experience. I kill the first one, the seventh one doesn't acknowledge I killed the first one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah,
I heard the bodies
noticed
disappear after a while, though, right?
They do. That's
do.
another thing. No, they disappear almost immediately.
Okay.
Like you snap their neck, they're low key already disappearing before they hit the ground.
Whereas
like,
in Dishonored, you have to earn that. You earn
and
that.
you have to hide the body.
Right.
And
right.
I understood that because it made sense to the story because they're in pretty much a virtual reality kind of way. Like they're reliving the same day over and over again.
No doubt. No, salute. I'll jump in real quick. I'm surprisingly with King that I am going to wait. You know,
but you have it on your console, sir.
Yeah, but my backlog is crazy right now, and I can't justify. And my only thing is, I think right now, with 12 minutes, Hades, like I'm kind of like overload with the roguelite and the time games. I'm like, I just went through.
I think the reason I gave this is because it was Arcane.
Oh yeah, no shot. So, yeah, salute. Got to give them they flowers. But I think for me, it's like. Obviously, when I know this is going to come to Game Pass at some point, you know, when the exclusivity window after a year, then for me, I'll catch it on there. You know, knowing Microsoft, some type of fidelity upgrade or something, maybe in the vein of Hellblade, how they did with Hellblade. When
probably get whatever expansion you might get at the same time as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you probably get real 4K because I heard it was like 1440p. What happened?
Oh, that's what you heard.
I heard it was something like that.
Yeah, but now look, I'm happy it's doing well. I'm happy that. Because let's be real, Arcane games for the most part generally sometimes they're not the biggest sellers though, right? So like
that's the thing, yeah, that's the thing.
The first Dishonored sold well, the second one sold like half of what the first one.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, look, salute, give them their flowers. They got one. People are really into it. I like that aspect, and you know, like I said, it'll hopefully come over there pretty soon after the exclusivity, and I'll be right there for the free $99. Yeah, get that joint on Game Pass.
People in the chat like, look, I feel like this is the. Deathloop is worthy of that Dishonored like caliber game, but I don't think that they took it further than Dishonored. I think they just took what they learned from Dishonored and they expanded on it a little bit, making like a Groundhog Day thing, and that's as far as it goes. Like I don't think it's like a system seller. I don't think you need a PS5 to play Deathloop. You got a PC, play it over there with Jimmy. Like, you know, you don't gotta go above and beyond to play this game. But if you got a PlayStation, you like arcade type of games, then definitely pick it up.
Pick it up. And like I said, I see a lot of people liking it. So salute to them.
Definitely pick it up. Buy more of it. I want the game to be part 2 on Xbox. And I want you to join me in Game Pass.
You know, that would be crazy, just to talk about that real quick. If there is a Deathloop 2 and it is on Xbox only, it's going to be crazy how Twitterverse is going to change. Because now the people that were supporting Deathloop are going to be saying, don't support Deathloop 2 and vice versa.
It'll be interesting to see if they do announce it too. But let's move on. Solve some chats, then we move on to the next.
Yeah, give me one second. We've got, hold on, to go back a little bit. Let's have Microsoft. Okay, we did the let's have Microsoft acquire WB Games, right? We said that.
Yeah. So yep.
Okay. Hargeet Shani, $5 super chat. So is what if it's right? EA and Take-Two being bought by Microsoft. ILP Book of X, Phil Dominance. every meme that we have is in there.
They really going for the stars, man.
They really are. Acquisitions.
These aren't even the stars. Like this is like some Green Lantern stuff. They're in another universe.
And we got Hargeet Shani once again, $5 super chat. Well. Some of the best games on PlayStation are made by Xbox.
Here we go.
Who has bangers? Hey, ILP Book of X.
Let's be real though. King, is he wrong?
Oh no, he's telling you the absolute truth.
And he wonder why they be attacking him about
exactly.
Xbox fanboy. But then he comments like this. Listen, no, I'm talking about addict.
Oh, okay. But I really do love the fact that,
wrong, though.
that we have the best
88.
Oh, you say the streak. The streak is on fire. Flight Sim.
We have the best baseball simulator on Xbox Game Pass, made by a new Sony acquisition. That studio.
Sony acquisition.
All I'm saying is PlayStation's eating pretty good off Xbox Studios right now. That's all I'm saying.
And we eating pretty good off that baseball.
Continue, Soft.
All right. Then we have Alvin, $5 super chat. Deathloop plays great on PC with a controller. The stuttering you're hearing is only occurs with mouse controls.
That is true.
Xbox Elite Controller FTW. Yeah, so I guess it's something with the way, like Jimmy was saying, like it's the way the controller sort of works. Then we have Flame, $5 super chat. Surprisingly, no smoke. I'm very proud of you, Flame. I'm proud of you.
Flame going through something right now. He had told me, but salute to Flame.
Oh, okay. No doubt.
Yeah, Flame going through something, but salute to him, man. Good to see him.
And we got Cypher Poll 192, £5 super chat. Don't worry, King. Infamous smoke coming in hot with that neck gator, just like the new PS5.
Infamous is a good game, man. I really love those games.
Yeah, me too. Fantastic. Love those games.
I hope that comes back.
Yeah.
Then we have Beaner, the $5 super chat. I guess he heard me. I don't listen to ILP around my wife because when Sav talks with that velvet voice, I have to mop the floor again. In your face.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what type of relationship's going on there.
My Lord.
But, yo, to each his own. Love is love.
What did we walk into?
What did we walk into?
Getting a little red in the face here. Then we got Drawn TJ, $5 super chat. LOL, awesome show, guys. I'm dying and I just woke up. That's the plan. We got Master Clown, $5 super chat. Master Clown, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Then we have Kiz with the $3 super chat. Saab, it'll be similar situation to Outer Worlds. Yeah, so that to my question of does that become legacy someplace else? Everyone is in agreement that it's not going to be. So bye.
We good?
See, did I miss anything else? Let me scroll back. Yeah, we're good.
All right, cool. Let's get into it, man. So looks like it's acquisition season.
It's cuffing season.
Is it cuffing season again? I mean, we're close on the 1 year. What is it? Anniversary of Bethesda, and the streets are talking about rumors. What's happening, man? Is anything happening? Is it cap?
Well, as is often the case when one of the big three makes an acquisition, then you start hearing rumblings from the other one. So Sony has made some acquisitions in recent weeks that obviously is going to get the Xbox sort of churning a little bit, the Xbox community. And it started popping up again with some rumors of Xbox announcing some sort of big acquisition, like Bethesda level acquisition, sooner rather than later. And that doesn't necessarily mean like the next couple of weeks or whatever, it could be months, but apparently that started sort of bubbling up online. And then some people in the know are sort of shot it down. Some people in the know just don't want to hear about it anymore. They're tired of speculation. So I'll leave it to the Xbox insiders on my panel because I'm not one of them.
Ain't nobody here that's an Xbox insider. Ain't nobody on this panel. I know Jimmy. Let's talk about Jimmy. Jimmy, my bad. Jimmy's the Xbox insider. Correct.
So don't ever imply us being insiders again. Twitter,
Twitter's gonna go crazy.
They paid me too much not to
say anything. There you go. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Like, I know Maddie put out a fantastic video kind of talking about what it could be. A lot of people are tired of the speculation. A lot of people are tired of it because if it does come to fruition and it is a Bethesda style sort of acquisition, then the old sort of conversation about the consolidation of the gaming space and why it's bad starts to come up again, right? And obviously Microsoft are the ones that are in a position. Microsoft are the ones that are in a position to make that level of acquisition. So what do you guys think? Is this fake news? Is something actually bubbling? And if it is, who do you think would be on the table?
Alec, before you jump in, I just want to, for context, so a lot of this started with Akami. Was it Akami Games?
Yes.
And in the past he's had obviously some reliable sources and things of that nature, and then everybody's kind of had their own tea leaves that something may or may not be happening. That's major. I just wanted to give him, as one of the people who kind of started it. And then he tweeted some sources. I think ACG was in there. A couple other people was in there. But all right, Attic, what you thinking, man? You want to jump in?
I think that this is true. I like the census I'm getting. It's supposed to happen this week. And I don't know if that's true or not. Like, it's supposed to happen sometime this week. It might be next week. I saw some rumors going around like what was like a month ago that something was going to happen in a month. But the acquisition that the people were saying on Twitter is they didn't say who it was. So, people didn't know if it was Sony, PlayStation, Nintendo. Ironically, 3 weeks after all those rumors going around, Microsoft's about to announce a industry defining move. I don't know what that means. But I do want to point out that, I've been on this pedestal that Microsoft's going to buy Sega. And I do want to point out
exclusive. We heard it here first.
No, I mean I've made multiple videos.
You standing on that square.
Like there is, but there's a lot of things that still point towards that. Sammy separating their finances with them all of a sudden. Like you only really feel like you do that if you're about to sell that part of your company.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You got literally pictures of people erasing Sega off their buildings in Japan.
Yeah.
TGS coming, put the tea leaves together. TGS.
To my knowledge, have we seen a Sega game leave Game Pass yet?
Yakuza,
like
like a dragon.
All the Yakuza are still there.
Still there.
The
first Judgment hasn't jumped in right yet. No.
We getting Persona 2. What we doing? Let's go all the way with it.
I think
that would be crazy.
To me, there's a lot of difference, like especially them removing Sega logos off of Japan buildings.
Yeah.
Like the only I know
talking about the Pachinko building.
No, there's multiple buildings that they.
I know. The main building they have like in downtown Tokyo is the Pachinko building, and that's when they were separating that whole thing. What you talking about? Sorry, go ahead, sir.
And that's I wanted to like the Final Fantasies went to Game Pass. Some of them have already left.
Yeah.
But Yakuza's have been there for a minute, and none of them have left. None of them have, unless someone in the chat tell me if one of them's left. But to my knowledge, a Sega game that has winning Game Pass have not left that service yet. And it's been enough time where you would think one at least would have left by now. So like to me, so we get this announcement that they're going to announce something that's on par, maybe not on par with Bethesda, but something around that. And it's ironically being rumored to happen next week, a week before Tokyo Game Show.
Okay.
It's just like, and then not to mention, there was a timed exclusive on the the Xbox Series X and PS5 version in the States on Like a Dragon. It wasn't on PlayStation 5 for a year. We got exclusivity to the what's that online game?
Fantasy Star.
Yeah, Fantasy Star.
That still hasn't been talked about.
To your credit, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Football Manager, which is huge. It's a huge sim game, and I believe the newest one is launching in Game Pass. And that's a big deal. I know a lot of people, like from an international perspective, like that is Madden, that is FIFA, like that game. I know a lot of people in the States probably maybe don't know of it or don't care of it, but I did hear that. So that is interesting to your theory that you think something's bubbling with Sega.
But I'm not saying that.
Nah, clip it, bro. We going live with that. Nah, you said it. It's a wrap.
Hold up. It might be like an extensive partnership, but I'm saying that the fact that people you can't buy Sega, they're a publicly owned company. Sammy's a publicly owned company, they own Sega. It's not the other way around. If Sammy wanted to sell Sega, they would separate their finances like they did now and sell that company off. Public companies do it all the time.
Okay, listen, man.
So
I'm
to me,
all for this.
I feel like if they don't do it, people didn't think they were buying Bethesda, and then they bought Bethesda. Like the fact they bought Bethesda, they could easily buy
ZeniMax.
Sega.
Oh yeah, we know the money in
Oh my god! And to me, when it comes down to it, like, look, I don't think they need no more. Like, if they bought Sega, they would be complete because they would have the Eastern games, they would have the Western games, and they would have xCloud at the top to hit the Eastern market, and they'd have this Xbox Series S and X to hit the Western market. And to me, you put all of those games in Game Pass. Imagine if they went on Tokyo Game Show and be like, or they did it at E3. I don't know if they would announce it at Tokyo Game Show, but let's just say they say, they show a trailer to Persona 6, and then Phil Spencer and whoever owns Sega, I don't know who it is, comes out and says, this is on our stage because we bought Sega with Atlas, and that's why we're shown on our stage. And Persona 6 is exclusively on Xbox and PC. Imagine, and to me, Microsoft has been very vocal about trying to be more appealing to the Eastern market. How else are you going to do that unless you buy Eastern market companies? And Sega is an Eastern market company with multiple games that appeal to that market.
Listen, I mean, I'm for it. I'm Team Sega. I want to get Jimmy in because he's the insider here.
I was talking to Maddie about it. No, Maddie's the insider. Dude, I haven't read up on the rumor or anything, so I don't know how big the acquisition is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I would kind of want it to be someone smaller, mid-tier, like Devolver's, who I was thinking, because Devolver makes
Devolver's mid-tier.
They're not like it's AAA, right? Like
I get that, but I do think they have enough. I do think they have enough caliber in that indie space to make them a big tier.
I'm at mid tier from like monetary. Like to me, they're like S tier, S plus.
Right.
I love all their games.
Yeah.
We've seen so many of their newer games go to Game Pass already, like Death's Door. Was that or Xbox exclusive at least?
Yeah.
And that would be perfect because then they can go out and basically be like an indie producer for Xbox, right? They go find these like weird, cool games that can just end up on Game Pass and not need this like insane monetary buyback.
Jimmy, let me interrupt you real quick. Okay. There's a super chat. I don't normally read the super chats itself, but Don Hutaku, I definitely butchered your name. We're gonna move past right that. Multiple Sega games have come day one in Game Pass lately. Kind, Football Manager last year and this year. There's 2 Point Hospital.
Yeah, he's right.
So there's games going in there Game Pass day and day.
Yeah, Sega's already said that they've been loving the relationship with Game Pass and how their games are really doing well in there. I just want to go back to Jimmy with the whole Devolver thing. Continue, sir.
Yeah, so someone also mentioned that they have Zero Studios. Yeah, I think they might own Crow Team, the guys who made the Serious Sam games, but they have a lot of IP. Like they've got good stuff and they're good at going out and finding really good indie games, which a lot of stuff ends up on Xbox that turns out to be good, but Devolver seems to have like foresight with it, so you'd be acquiring them just to do work for you, like to go find cool games, and you could kind of just let them loose, let them operate on their own, kind of like Bethesda does. Sega's weird to me just because I'm not into a lot of the games that they put out. And
careful, you're doing good, Jimmy. You don't just Sega slander. You were doing good. I really liked you, and then you start Sega slander, and now I have to question
It's fine.
everything.
You're still welcome. Continue.
They're just not like I'm just not into
That's all
like,
good,
you know,
it's not your
Japanese.
Yakuza type stuff.
I'm gonna tell Destin. I'm gonna tell Destin what you said though. I'm gonna tell him.
We argue all the time.
Oh, okay. I know he loves Japanese games, and y'all friends.
Yeah, no.
Okay, good.
He's been trying to get me to get into some anime stuff.
He's like,
no, don't do it.
Don't do it, Jimmy.
He's like, nope. I got my horror over here. I'm good.
No, I've always wanted to try Yakuza, but it's like they seem like a big time commitment, and that's the one thing I don't have. So you know,
Like a Dragon's really
Like a Dragon should be the one you tried. That was my first one. Loved it, bro.
Yeah, it just I don't know. This might be a stretch, but it kind of reminds me of when Xbox bought the year exclusivity on Tomb Raider, the Rise of the Tomb Raider. I feel like them buying Sega is sort of like that, where PlayStation just kind of has this huge user base already for these Sega style games like Persona, Yakuza, stuff like that. And I feel like outside of the Twitter sphere with the critics and stuff like that, when the Yakuza games end up on Xbox first, they don't get as much of a conversation as they do when they're on PlayStation, because I feel like the audience really drives a lot of that conversation. They're not showing up for the Xbox releases. They'll wait for it to come to PS5. So I don't know. I get all the reasons I'm hearing, right? They make so much sense why Xbox would buy Sega, but I'm like waiting for a reason that gets me excited, you know? I just don't.
No, listen, you're a
Persona 6 fan. That's all you need to hear.
if they bought Capcom, oh my god!
You know what's funny? That Capcom, look, if we had I don't know if Cog's gonna ask us what company we would want them to buy. If that was an acquisition. The company I feel like would do them the most benefit and cripple PlayStation at the same time would be because it's competition. When people moving your pieces, you're gonna take those pieces too.
King influence has rubbed off with you, sir. Continue.
I feel like the Square Enix. If Microsoft was able to get Square Enix, I don't think it would devastate PlayStation, but it would be one of those scenarios that Colin's always screaming from the rooftops. I think the next Elder Scrolls is going to be on PlayStation because he personally feels like Game Pass is on PlayStation before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. And I personally feel like if they picked up Square Enix, that would be the one thing that they could do, that Microsoft could do, that Sony's like, all right, someone go talk to Phil. We got to get that on Game Pass. Come on, let's get it over here. We're missing too much. Because imagine they would lose all their timed exclusives. And now, obviously not what's going on now with 16, but there's no more going, oh, they did that? Go talk to Square Enix. Let's get 16 on timed exclusive. Let's get 7 on timed exclusive. There's none of that no more. Okay. And I feel like that is the one thing that they could do is like, we lost Final Fantasy. We lost Dragon Quest. Like bring them over here. Let's do this.
You know what they get with that, which is dope, would be Deus Ex. Like if they could bring that back. Mankind Divided is like so underplayed. I love that game. I play it. I play it a lot around fall because it's got a really good fall feel to it, and it ends on a cliffhanger. So I don't know. If Xbox bought Square Enix and brought that back, oh, that'd be so sick.
Deus Ex is one of the few games that remind me of Dishonored in ways. Like,
yeah, that newest one especially plays a lot like a arcane game.
No doubt. King, acquisition season. What's going on? What you feeling?
I'll be back, guys. So someone's at the door.
No worries, brother.
I feel that they're going to get a publisher.
Okay.
A company that doesn't need too much oversight, that can produce games, distribute games, and doesn't because I believe Matt Booty has too much on his plate.
Okay.
So
23 studios. Yep.
Yeah, 36. No, because you're talking about the internal studios that's within the same studios that branches out to 36 studios.
23, sir. Continue.
Okay.
I like how you always add stuff on the top of stuff. We're not going to do that for this.
If you want to look at it that way, God bless. Anyway, if Sony can have secret studios, so can we.
Secret studio? Oh my God.
Well, didn't they have a black studio that was actually going and finishing off products? Stop. Come on, let's do it. All right. So anyway, 36. Again,
we're not pushing this narrative. Continue.
Yeah, whatever. Again, I just feel that it's not going to be a little side project. It's going to be a big acquisition. It's not going to be Capcom. Capcom makes more sense with Sony.
Okay. Yeah, the president didn't. He just
Okay. So
one of the ex presidents or CEOs went over to Sony now.
Like I said before, I think Sony moves like a mob type of entity. You work really good with us. You're part of the team now.
I agree with that. Actually,
that makes a lot of sense.
I actually agree with that.
And they leave you outside the room for so many years, and then they take, all right, let them inside.
Yeah. Like they have to have that working relationship with you for a while, and then they bring you in. You've been good. He a made man. We're gonna make Blue Point a made man.
Exactly. You're a made man now. Nobody's gonna touch you. You're part of the team. You understand? This stuff happens. So when I see Capcom CEO go over there and he gets a job at Sony, I'm like, buddy. What's this? Like, who does this? Like, so it makes sense why Street Fighter V was locked to that console.
Relationships,
and Street Fighter's always been all over the place. So when it got locked to that console, I mean, come on, man. Capcom really fits with what Sony plans are, and I think Capcom, I think it works well there.
Yeah, I agree.
I really think so. So
yeah,
what you thinking, King? The streets is talking. They saying Take-Two. That might
I can't say.
Ooh, that's insane.
That would be insane, dude.
That's so insane.
I can't say, but what I can say is what was talked about is that it's going to be a publisher that has very cinematic qualities.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. So you think it's better? Okay. Look, I'll jump in there before I get back to Solve. I do think something eventually will happen. Listen, they're in.
I don't know if it's this week though.
Exactly. That's literally what I was going to say. I don't know about this week because to me, my thing is we know something's going to happen because if the goal is Game Pass and what is it, 2 billion games, just this big overarching plan to get Game Pass everywhere, then you're going to need more than the 20. You're going to need more than them studios, right? So I look at the deficiencies. I look at what makes sense. I agree with King that, you probably want someone that is self-contained. That's the beauty of a ZeniMax deal. Like, they were self-contained. They can run their own thing. Matt Booty does have a lot on his plate, you know what I mean, with the studios that they currently have.
Yeah, look at Deathloop.
Yeah.
It's really doing really well. And, I mean, self-contained studios.
Yeah, like I said, Bethesda's been used to. So it's not much micromanagement you need to do, right? So if you're going to bring people in, so I agree, you need to get something on a bigger level. You know, Sega is close to heart, obviously, for me. You know, that as Attic was saying, like that would be a dream come true as a Sega kid. Sorry, Jimmy, I know.
It's okay.
I know this doesn't please you, but for me, selfishly, I always got to say that. But, you know, I've been talking with more people. I think from the thing that I think makes the most sense that I would love them to do is WB. Because WB solves a lot of the problems and the deficiencies. I'm going to tell you why. Superhero games, number one, because if they're able to get the license, they're able to get the license.
I don't think that.
Right, and if they can't, then obviously their value to Xbox is not.
But they still, but that Rocksteady still has the chops to make a game of that ilk. So if you want to
on this superhero crap.
Forget about
superhero
Batman.
crap that you was capping fraud alert. Like, I'm stopped. We got to get King.
Okay, so
I got to get you out of here.
Listen,
you the same fraud alert. You the same guy who came in here with a Spider-Man mask and Spider-Man and God of War ain't this and Spider-Man's this that and now superhero crap. This is what we doing.
Okay, you know, what I'm saying is. It's like everybody's getting this FOMO because they saw Wolverine, right? And I really don't think it's going to boil down to that. But again, I also say that they have struck gold. You know, they hit lightning in a bottle. How many times have we had crappy Spider-Man games? Don't forget the fall down on the floor and you couldn't go down.
So the answer for King is don't make any superhero games at all.
I don't think it's going to hit the way you think it's going to hit.
All I'm saying is it doesn't necessarily even have to be a superhero game. It just they don't have any pop culture popping game. That's the thing. Like that. They just at the end of the day, you need people who would
go play Legos.
Yeah, go.
Why they gotta be quiet?
Go ahead for Lego. Yeah, go play. Go play.
Why that's gonna placate them is give them Legos.
I got Silver Surfer. I see Galactus. I see Lego Batman. I got it all.
Not with you, bro.
Your refusal to bend on this makes no sense.
And he's the ultimate superhero game guy. It's because it's on that other side.
No, and you know what? I go over there and I play my Spider-Man in peace.
You do.
And listen, they hit lightning in a bottle.
Right.
Insomniac made a perfect game in Sunset Overdrive that can show traversal, and that game translated very well for the Spider-Man IP. Remember, the Spider-Man IP was in the trash up until this point. Marvel actually made Spider-Man really good.
Oh, no, absolutely. They catch lightning in the bottle. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But do you not feel there's somebody on the PlayStation side? Do you feel there's no one on the Xbox side that can tackle it? That can tackle a game of that time, a game of that type.
Let me ask you a question. Where is all this coming from? Because you saw Wolverine CGI trailer?
You know where it's coming from?
Well, we've been saying it
for years. You think it just exemplified the weakness. That's all I'm saying.
How many crappy superhero games do we have to go through until we get one?
I think since the Arkham games, that whole narrative has changed.
Okay, since the Arkham, right? You have Batman and you have Spider-Man. How many crappy games came out?
There was a lot between that. There was a lot. No one's saying it's not a risk.
That DC Universe stuff is terrible.
Well, that's all before that, though. That's all I'm
saying. Forget. I don't even want to. This devolved into the superhero thing. I really don't want to go there. I know where that's. But this is where. All I'm trying to say is WB would service multiple needs, right? And if King would let me finish, he thought I was gonna go just to the superhero band. I really don't care about that anymore. I've already said what I had to say on that. But remember. NetherRealm fighting another deficiency, right? And then what's that joint song? Traveler's Tale, the
Traveler's Tales
kitty
with
game. They don't right. So to me, WB is actually a better fit for the things they lack. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not mad if Take-Two happens. I'm not mad if Sega happens. Like all the stuff they could use. I'm just saying WB in a way is perfect for a lot of things that they need. But I'm with King. I don't know about this week, fam. You know what I'm saying? And my last point is, usually deals of this ilk that are this huge, let's be honest, Joe Schmo around the corner ain't hearing about it.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, like, this is, like, when we heard about Bethesda, it was literally like the day before, the day of. and then it's like bam, like
it was while we were filming Halloween. It like happened. I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
I'm like, yo,
but
this is
we heard about Bethesda for a while.
You heard.
We didn't hear about ZeniMax.
Yeah.
Like they went and they brought the kit and caboodle.
Yeah, they brought
that's a whole different like aspect to it. And from what the conversations was before, this acquisition is going to be larger than that. So when they was trying to go get Discord and it was paying 50
whatever,
how much was that? 50 billion, something like that, to try to get Discord. I saw the rationale in doing so. Right. I understand the philosophy in being directly plugged into 300 million subscribers. Right. This next thing, if it rivals ZeniMax in scope, it's only like 2 players out there that you can really say that to. And I just really don't want to get that excited.
No, me neither. I'm with you. Like, you have no idea. We actually are on the same page with this. And my thing is, something's gonna happen. I just don't think it's necessarily at the timing that the gamers want, because I agree with King that I feel that everyone is reactionary to the show that happened. And the way they not in the studio like, yo, they just dropped that track. Like, yo, get in the booth right now. Hit them with the WB, fam.
You don't want to set the expectation to plan stuff like that.
Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. If you do it on the anniversary and then you do like you set an expectation, so next year people are gonna be wanting like whatever.
Yeah, like yo, it's the anniversary acquisition season.
I don't like stuff like that. And then going back to Warner Brothers, they make sense. You said they don't get the IP, but that almost makes it better to sell the studios, because they can sell the studios to Microsoft and say, yeah, license this IP from us forever now. Like they're also Warner Brothers is doing some weird stuff on the movie side. Like they just got bought by Discovery. Discovery bought Warner Brothers. When you have a company like that buying Warner Brothers for their movies, that game stuff, as big as a moneymaker as the game stuff is, like that's an afterthought at best to them, and it kind of could be seen as a problem. So if they see it as a win-win, where they're like, we dump all these studios over to Microsoft, which honestly, let's be real, those studios kind of fit with Microsoft's vibe, I think, a little bit, like a little bit more like, you know, like the art style in the Arkham games, it's like beefier, like bigger dudes, fits with like Gears of War to me. I link those together. You got like Killer Instinct mixed as well with Mortal Kombat. Like they have more of an Xboxy
edge,
like, hyper masculine vibe that I think works together.
Call it dude, bro. Yeah, would you?
And I think in terms of Warner Brother, that besides Sega, they're the only ones that make sense to me, because like when I'm looking at like what I personally feel like would benefit Microsoft the most. Like they need a worldwide appeal. That's why I feel like Sega is the one that makes the most appeal, because right now, if you buy Warner Brothers, I do think that they have a lot of answers that they need. Like they need Killer Instinct Studio. They need that. Like I think that's the one they need the most, even more than comic book hero. They need their foot in that fight, because I personally feel like if Sony buys NetherRealm somehow, they're done. They're over.
Then they got Evo.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, I kind of, honestly, like, selfishly, I want them to end up on Xbox.
What's funny is King down here said, you know, Legos. Hey, King, you know who makes the Lego games? The people who own Warner Brother.
But so okay, didn't they just farm that out to somebody else, didn't they? The Star Wars Lego thing, but. At the same time, again, purchasing a studio and don't have the licenses.
I agree. It loses value. You got to get those licenses.
Right.
You can't be paying Bethesda money for.
If you're paying that money, I want the license.
I don't want no.
You don't want the generic
deal for a year. I definitely don't want Spatman. I don't want Spatman.
To be honest, though, like let's say that because Discovery. They don't want nothing to do with it. They don't want to have nothing to do with it. So to me, if you can, obviously it's going to be billions of dollars, but you can get that on for the low side, for the cheap side. And you can get, even if you don't have access to those IPs, you have Rocksteady. You could go find something. You could go talk to people making a Spawn game. They can easily make the Spawn game that you need.
You don't go buy the shell of a car and hope for an engine. You don't do that.
But it's you act like the IP is everything. These guys know how to make that type of game.
I have to disagree.
These guys know how to make
I'm actually with King
how to make a hero game.
But look. At the end of the day, I think let's be real here. If you buy Warner Brothers and you don't have, because they'll get the Mortal Kombat because that comes with it. They even stated that last time they were talking to them. The IP only affects Rocksteady for the most part because they're not going to make another Shadow of
Mortal Kombat. That's interesting.
So
that's weird because like that's gonna be a movie thing now. Like,
I think to me, but the IPs only really affect Rocksteady. The Batman stuff. Like, I don't think they're gonna make another Shadow of Mordor or anything like that. It only affects that one studio.
Harry Potter.
But really, man,
Harry Potter's big.
Harry
Potter's big, though.
But
Harry Potter, I can tell
I
you
but I don't
firsthand
think
that game's huge.
name me one good Harry Potter game.
Oh, here we go, Addicts World.
No, the Harry Potter game that's on its way is probably gonna do numbers.
It's gonna do
crazy numbers.
At least we have Spider-Man and Batman to like kind of grasp that. Name me one good Harry Potter game. One.
Talk, Jimmy, give numbers.
Dude, if you so the way I find news topics for PS Ready is we go on Apple News and you type the topic in. So PlayStation, right? And then I see all the stuff. These sites that are content farms that like just look at what people are searching for and generate articles out of it. They have been making articles out of the 1-year-old trailer for Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy for a year straight, and these are always top stories. Like every creature that showed up in the trailer is listed here. And like
Jimmy, tell me a good game though.
The PS1 one is pretty good. Not gonna lie. But yeah, no.
Look, I'm not saying that.
No, but they're movie games, dude. Like they're on a time frame, they're on a budget. EA was doing it too. Like,
my thing, Jimmy, is that's no longer an excuse after Spider-Man and Batman. You if you have access to those IPs, you can make good games. You just gotta fight for it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like if Microsoft buys the studios, they can exclusively license the IP. There's no reason for Warner Brothers not to let them do that. And also, if you separate it out, you get DC on Xbox side, you let Sony focus on Marvel. It's just like that creates competition and makes better games.
I do agree that they do need. I do agree
also,
that
I like Marvel stuff, so I want to stay on PlayStation.
You want that whole universe?
I do agree.
Yeah, I do agree. Good work.
I do agree that they need a comic book here. I do agree that. I don't think it's going to be Marvel because
so why go for a Marvel character? Like,
but I don't think that's on the table. To me personally, I feel like Sony has bargained that Spider-Man movie license into we get a pick and no goes to, because if you look at it, everything has been an exclusive in terms of Disney on either Nintendo or Sony. Name something on Xbox, and I think Sony doesn't care if it goes to Nintendo. They care if it goes to Xbox. And I really feel like when they went back to that renegotiate to get Spider-Man back in the MCU, they'll we'll negotiate on that price. But what can you do for us in the game wise? And I think that's where Wolverine came from. I think that's why you won't see anything else on Xbox in terms of those licensing, because I think Sony done low key behind the scenes locked all that down.
Yeah, I was convinced that when Indiana Jones was announced, I thought that meant that all right, Disney's looking at it like Sony gets our Marvel stuff, Xbox gets our Lucasfilm stuff, but now we've got Knights of the Republic.
Couture, exclusive, timed exclusive. No, I don't even think
it's timed exclusive, which is weird.
Finish your joint and then
it's just that it's just no. Okay, so stop with the WB stuff. That's absolute.
I think it makes sense though.
No, like it makes a lot of sense. That's not gonna happen. Like,
but the IP, even if you don't get the IPs, you still get talented developers that make good games.
I don't want that.
And you
I
have
got
someone to make
studios. I got talented studios. I'm not going to purchase a car with no engine and hope I can get the engine.
Who did you want?
But it's
did you say who you wanted?
Yeah, King didn't say who he wanted.
I'm curious. Yeah, I really
King
want
didn't say who he wanted.
No.
You don't even know.
No, I know. I know.
He tried not to say something.
See what it is you want me to do that.
No, I'm genuinely
I'm not. I'm talking to Addict. Addict wants me to do that.
No, but at the end of the day, like this is a conversation about
what I would
you
like.
So tell us
what I would want for myself, like selfishly.
Yes. Yeah.
EA.
We got them.
No.
Why marry it when you getting all the benefits?
Yeah, they got the partnership. It's friends with benefits.
No,
she's sleeping over.
I want to do what they did to us.
Oh, you want Madden ripped off? You want? I mean, like ripped off their platform.
You want to play Madden?
You got to come over
here.
Get
over here.
Okay.
Get down or lay down. It's on Xbox and PC. God bless. Say less. Let's see you later.
Let's entertain this EA thing. Imagine if they did that. This is how you share used games. Is this how you want to play Madden?
That's
it's just listen. Y'all just asked me this. I came with the wildest thing that I could possibly come up with. Yeah. It's one thing that I'm hearing. I don't want to say anything because then I'm going to betray somebody's trust. No doubt. But at the same time, if that thing happens, oh my God, I'm in for an incredible ride.
Saul, before we move on the topic, I didn't get yours. Yeah. What do you want?
I mean, like everybody's touched upon the big ones, but there's two that I want to talk about real quick that also sort of fill voids that make sense because of where we're at now, the games that are popular right now. So the first one is Bandai Namco, right? Right. Obviously, Souls. Yeah. Souls has permeated every single type of game genre. Like Souls is everywhere.
But I don't think you get Souls because you get that. Like From Software publishes with them. They don't own any of that, do they?
Right. It is a publishing thing, right? So you would have to get From, right? That's a whole nother thing.
They got From. I would love Twitter. I would love
Twitter. Twitter would be crazy.
Twitter would be crazy.
I think the world would end.
Yes.
The fighting game that obviously gets filled by Tekken and Soul Calibur, right? Like that's
didn't even think about that. You're right.
You think about Tales of Arise and how that hit very well. They get the Tales series as well, right? The Tales series seems like it's like in a renaissance.
That's my question. How much of that do they actually own? Or are they just publishing all that?
They're publishing all that, but it's kind of been exclusive, right? So when you negotiate with one, it's probably on the table to negotiate for the studios, right? It's easier to make that sort of request. So how that can happen? It would be through Namco, through Bandai Namco anyway, right? So it's not you're not having that direct discussion with anyone else. So that's one, right? That makes a lot of sense. Now another one that doesn't make sense at all, but it's a pie in the sky thing.
Which one?
There is a publisher out there right now that is hemorrhaging goodwill left and right, just hemorrhaging goodwill.
Are you talking about CD Projekt Red?
No, they're not a publisher. That's Activision Blizzard.
Whoa. Right now, I don't know if
nuts. It's but again, I think Microsoft's
out there ready that scarlet letter right now. I don't know PR purposes.
But it is that thing where I think Microsoft has that sort of cleansing thing over them.
No, they do not. Actually, Microsoft is absolutely toxic. Yo, let me have that isotope, please. And no, radioactive isotope.
I personally
those dudes are
they could fix it.
They cannot fix that.
They can fix it.
Yeah,
they can fix
it.
Like I said, it's still pie in the sky. It's pie in the sky.
But just that's a really big pie in the sky.
I know what you're gonna say.
Because COD, this is the thing, right? COD, I wouldn't make COD exclusive. I would do with COD what I did with Minecraft.
I don't want to lose Sarah Bond to become the head of Activision to fix the situation.
Oh my God!
I don't want that.
Yo, that's probably what they would do too. If they bought them, they would probably send her over there.
I'm just saying that in terms of reach and in terms of bringing that name back to a place of prominence, they could do it. Whether they want that burden, that's a whole nother. And
I doubt it.
Right?
That would be big.
Please,
but I just
voice
don't.
Of reason.
even before all the crazy stuff that's going on, I still don't think they would have wanted something like that.
No, it's radioactive isotopes. Don't touch that.
So you feel the same way about Ubisoft then?
Ooh. I don't think Ubisoft's on the table either.
I would be so bummed. I don't know.
But
it feels like
Ubisoft. Ubisoft would make sense in terms of when it goes to Game Pass. They do nothing but make games as a service. They buy
they get pretty much service.
Especially now,
the Game Pass model.
They're putting diesel in a car there, like they're blowing that up.
Oh, for sure. So that's what you got, Sam?
Yeah, that's what I got, man. I don't know. It might be smaller too. When they talk about like industry shifting or whatever, maybe they mean a particular developer that's been associated with another one of the big three and not necessarily a publisher, right? Maybe one big developer that's kind of you recognize as being with Sony or with Nintendo, and all of a sudden they belong to Xbox. That can mean a lot too. Who knows?
Like Sony.
Let's see.
Just
buy
buy
Sony. King will be popping bottles real quick.
They buy Sony?
Yeah. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Yo, and let me tell you something. I don't think that's on the table, but if that ever happened, God bless.
No doubt.
All of a sudden, he's open to all of this.
He's open to that. That's the pie in the sky he about.
If that ever happened, we would never be able to contain.
Oh yeah, it'd be ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous. Random question. Jimmy, my boy Wilmy said, was you on the film set for Halloween? That was his hometown in Wilmington. He just wanted to know if you
I saw that. I didn't want to rip you guys. No, we were shooting our fan film at the same. No, they weren't shooting anything at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were shooting our fan film then. But yeah, Wilmington's where they shoot Halloween It Kills, and they're going to shoot Ends there in January.
No doubt.
Good spot.
Yeah. Super chats, their final topics. Get about it.
Yeah.
Jimmy, this final topic is where we officially get messy with King.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Look at his smile.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it's coming. He's waited.
I gotta pull the topics back up in my DMs here.
I'm rolling back a little bit. Just vamp.
Yeah, I'll vamp for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I think somebody bought some drips. So I could shout them out with the drip. No doubt. Let's see. Oh yeah. Shout out to the beanie. Anonymous. Put your name in there, man. You got that beanie. He don't want to be known.
He got the neck gator and he got a beanie. He trying to do things.
He's trying to make it happen.
He's probably one of the people that dislikes the podcast.
Exactly. It's probably best that you don't tell us who you are. You don't need to call the authorities.
Yes.
Infamous.
That was a beanie. It wasn't a ski mask.
Yeah, it's a beanie.
You can
pull it down. You can pull it down.
It's a guy with a wolf mask.
Oh, done.
All right, ready to rock.
Let's go.
We got Michael, aka Best Size Finest, $2 super chat. PlayStation is trash. God bless.
Wow.
He drops the mic and leaves. That's
what we doing.
It's like a drive-by right there.
We got JD Gamer, $5 super chat. Microsoft needs to buy Take-Two, partnership with Ubisoft for Plus, buy Sega, partner with Capcom, and buy WB Games while buying gaming rights to all of the DC Extended Universe. What the
wow. Man, what the Infinity Gauntlet. You got the Infinity Gauntlet.
He just put the Infinity Gem.
He just snapped everything into existence. Salute.
Like literally, if that happened,
that's a Thanos
I can just
snap,
imagine King coming on here. I told you.
Swami.
I'm coming on in a toga.
What else we got?
Then we have Brett Bingham, $10 super chat. If there's a Japanese acquisition happening, I'm going with Bandai Namco as being it. Recent activity makes me believe it is them. Plus, they make the most on paper sense for Microsoft. Could be.
We got the fight. I'm about that.
Yeah. Daryl Mack, $5 super chat. Nope. The gaming community should be thankful for Microsoft Xbox for being in a position to keep ish away from Tencent and Google. You're welcome.
Tencent ain't really trying to do nothing right now with that government. Sorry.
Yeah, they're kind of their stock price dropped because they're
too much money.
JD Gamer, $5 super chat. Microsoft be the behemoth that you are. Think like Nintendo got to catch them all. Have these Xbox has no games PS fanboys out here crying salty tears. Oh my God.
How many studios do you need?
Then we got JD Gamer, $5 super chat. Sega was almost bought by Microsoft 20 years ago. Them getting bought now would just be the fulfillment of the Sega promise to Sega fans that went to Xbox.
Oh, for sure.
Revenge.
Then we have Don Otaku. Oh, Attic read this already. So shout out to Don Otaku. Then we got Gerald Mack, $2 super chat. Microsoft should buy the Embracer Group. Yeah.
Okay.
The warm embrace. We got Urban Ninja, $5 super chat. Strangely, Takuya series director may be leaving Sega soon. Yakuza series director may be leaving Sega soon. Tencent thinks they can take him from there. Okay. Yeah, he's apparently that's in the works that he's leaving to work for. I forgot what the hell their name is. And we have Cowboys fan, $10 super chat. If Xbox gets another major studio under their umbrella, Phil Spencer gonna have to change his ringtone to Cool Mo D. How you like me now?
Wow, we really do that. Okay.
Then we got Four Eyes Malone, $5 chat. Microsoft.
I like that name.
I love that name.
I like that. Shout out to Four Eyes Malone.
One thing though is if Microsoft buys another big publisher, I think they got one more before the government starts shutting them down from buying more. Like I really do.
Start investigating this. Then we got Four Eyes Malone. Microsoft buys Sega. Can we get a Power Stone revival? Yes, please. Okay. But seriously, can Microsoft make good games with the studios they currently have first? Quality or quantity?
Deathloop look nice. God bless. Psychonauts is lit. God bless.
No doubt.
And we got JD Gamer again, $10 super chat. Microsoft should bankrupt these naysaying PlayStation podcasts while taking a bath in all the salty tears bound to come out of this one. Big bank, take little bank. Don't play with me.
Wow.
Who said that? JD Gamer.
JD is super messy.
Brett Bigham, once again, $5 super chat. Microsoft should just buy Nintendo. Then via proxy control their own controlling stakes, 20% in Bandai Namco, Square Enix, Koei Tecmo, and Konami. So
crazy.
It makes sense. Then we have Snow Dragon, $5 super chat. Roundtable acquisition next week? We shall see. JD Gamer once again, $10 super chat. Sony out here barking, attacking, doing their thing, but they're an ankle-biting poodle.
Wow.
Microsoft is that big Rottweiler watching you, daring to step a foot in the door. Don't do it, Sony. Don't do it.
Wow.
Jimmy's looking at this like, I can't believe it.
That's where he started. He wanted to smoke.
This is fantastic. This is fantastic, Jimmy.
Then we got
this is a wild super chat.
Yes.
Whoa,
Wow.
Tell me about it. Then we got
You're
Gerald
welcome.
back.
It's a lot of money.
Gerald back, $5 super chat. Embracer Group has 240 IPs, 80 development studios, 8,500 employees, 40 countries. All hail the ILP. Yeah, that would be a global reach. That would be interesting.
Yeah, we shut Microsoft down.
Right, Bigham, $5 super chat. Bandai Namco makes the most sense on paper for a Japanese publisher. They have anime and toys to market to future generations of Japanese gamers too.
They do.
Makes sense for Sony.
They ain't trying to even touch that anime market with Sony.
Yeah, makes sense for Sony.
Down.
Yeah.
Then we got Brett Bingham again, $5 super chat. It's Xbox's 20th anniversary. I highly doubt we make it to the end of the year without a major acquisition to celebrate.
Okay.
Could be.
Could be.
We got Kid Smooth, $5 super chat.
Smooth.
As a selfish guy, I prefer Ubisoft. I do Take-Two for bragging rights. I would only do WB if the DC license comes with.
Factual. I'm with that.
Brett Bingham again, $2 super chat. WB Games also has the old Midway Games IP.
Okay. Oh yeah, the classics.
They do. Yeah, they do.
They do got the classics.
Yeah, somebody wants to play Centipede. God bless.
Hargeet Chani.
Vote for the new Centipede.
Yo, we never hear the end of it. If they started bringing those back, like new on Game Pass.
Centipede. Get that Robotron. No.
Then we got Hargeet Chani, $5 super chat. If WB Game Studios doesn't have WB IPs, it would be a big problem. Current games include Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and DC Extended Universe.
Facts.
Then we have Kiz with the $8 super chat. King's analogy is bad in my opinion. If anything, devs are the engine and the IP is the shell.
King.
Whatever you want to say, you gonna go buy an engine looking for a car? You tell me what you gonna do, but you ain't getting both. So what do you want?
What else?
Hold on. Yeah, we jumped a couple. Hold on a second. I'm gonna roll back a little bit. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. We Edwin Suero, $2 super chat. I'm campaigning for TMNT for Xbox. No doubt. Yeah, that'd be nice. JD Gamer once again, $10 super chat. Okay, so it's Square. This is why Sony has locked up Final Fantasy and other IPs for as long as they can, because just like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, they knew they'd never see another game from that publisher again.
Shout out to JD Gamer for doing all the
inside. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Square.
And we got Drunken Ninja, $2 super chat. Xbox needs NetherRealm's Lockdown MK and make Killer Instinct. So both. Then we have Rob Jones, £2 super chat. 10 cents got no sense.
Okay. All right.
Then we got Reggie Mobile, $5 super chat. Peace to the Lords. Great show, great guest, and Jimmy Champane.
Woo!
I hope Microsoft buys Sega and Take-Two with the money in their sock. Bless y'all.
It's Phil Spencer going up to Take-Two. Okay, hold up. Reaches in his sock.
I got
He's got it in cash.
Exactly. I know. You got to go dig into the the couch. Yeah, we got one more
outside.
Alexis Evolve, $7 super chat. At the end of the day, I play games because I love to do it. There's good and bad and hopes for better things to come from both systems.
No doubt. All right, let's
Preach,
get through final topic. This should be pretty quick. King, I know I'll set it up for him. This is the GeforceNow database leaked, which has definitely rocked the game sphere this week.
Evil ass list lost, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through the list. It's super long, but it's a lot.
Can you send me the list?
Yeah, after I finish reading it.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah, so the whole thing is pretty much, a lot of unannounced titles. We saw some PC ports from PlayStation. I think God of War is on there. We saw some major stuff, Crysis 4. I mean, crazy games. A lot of stuff going on now. Since then, NVIDIA has made a comment, and the spokesperson said it's an unauthorized. They're aware of this unauthorized published list, and they basically took immediate action to remove it. And they basically trying to say that the inclusion of this list is no confirmation that
Tony got fired.
I want to know. I wish I could have seen that happen.
Yeah, so look,
it'd be like RoboCop when the guy gets shot out the building.
Yeah, 10 seconds, 15 seconds to comply. But remember that? Somebody shut it up. That movie scared me. But anyway, that was in Michigan, right? Wasn't that Detroit? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought about that. So look, this is a big one, King. I'm gonna give it back to you, man. You seem to take interest in some specific ports.
Delight.
I wonder why.
Quite delight. I told you I'm 95% right all the time. I told you God of War is coming.
Oh yeah, we told him.
Like, no, King, it ain't gonna never happen.
Now you want to act like he the only one saying it on the show.
I definitely, because I'm looking for LaMarcus Doss. I remember his name. He used to be up in there. He would say that's never gonna happen. I remember. I have the receipts.
Listen. Shout out to Nixon. They're close to my heart. One of the best acquisitions from Sony Studios. But again, all these white papers that come out is from NVIDIA. During this COVID time right now, when they're sending over people to do patches and to help devs work with their games, trying to port them over, because they're leading the industry in video cards, they have privy to what games are being worked on and stuff like that. This list doesn't surprise me in the least at all. It does. It does make a lot of people angry, and I don't understand that. Just like Jimmy Champane likes to play games in the highest fidelity, on that PC butters. We would really like to see God of War in its true light, not checkerboard. And I think that's a possibility, and that's going to happen. But again, jokes aside, listen. Everybody knows this stuff is going to make it over to the PC. Is open money over there to be taken for people that will never buy a console. All right, so stop being selfish, trying to hoard it all to yourself. People are not going to buy a console. They want a game on a higher fidelity platform and how they want to choose to play. And Sony recognizes that. Microsoft recognizes that. Other companies should recognize that. And Nintendo. Please just go get the money. Whatever. Let people game wherever they want to game at.
No doubt. So let's get Jimmy in here, man. The GeForce leaks database. Do you believe it? What you're feeling? What's your thought process?
It's got to be real, right? Like it just seems there's the one game that really stood out to me as like confirming this list is real is Helldivers 2. I love that game on Vita specifically. I used to play it all the time, and the fact like that would never come up on a fake list, right? Like that's just so out of the limelight, so obscure, so out there that I feel like the inclusion of it is what really confirms the list. And I don't know, I'm happy. I really want the PlayStation games to come to PC because like I'm a PlayStation fan because of the games mostly. And if I can just play them where I want to, like this is getting into it. I have a gaming laptop, right, with like a 3080 in it. It runs everything great. My favorite thing to do is play open world games, throw like a horror movie on the TV and just knock off side quests. It's like Ghost of Tsushima monopolizing my TV, right? Like that's where I get like I can't do it. I can't sit with open world games for a month straight unless I can have something else going on. So that'd be so ideal for me. Hearing Crisis 4 coming back, I'm like, I hope that happens because I don't know. I feel like Crisis 1 was excellent. I think it's good. 2, they had to really pare it back to put it on console, so it feels like a weird game. But then 3, they kind of got back to where they should be, and then they're like, all right, we're done with the series. It's like, no, you were just doing it. Like you got there. So I would really like to see that come back. Yeah, and then I see this screenshot in here with like the interface of GeForce Now with God of War. It looks so real. I want it to be real. That's where I'm at. But like we knew Demon Souls is coming, right? Because they had it in the trailer. They
magically
and if they weren't bringing all these games to PS4, I'd be a little more skeptical of them coming to PC. But it's like they obviously aren't scared to make these games come to other platforms. It makes sense, right? It's like free money, and
it is.
Like they're not giving Microsoft any money by putting God of War on PC. They're giving it to Valve, and Sony has a good relationship with Valve. We've seen that before with Portal 2. You got a free PS3 copy with your free PC copy with your PS3 copy. So I feel like Sony's not really losing much given that 30% to Valve, because people want to play these games because they just make really good games.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Lord Attic, your feeling on the list, I send it to you.
I'm looking through it now. There's things that is kind of interesting, like Jimmy said, like the fact that Halo Online is on that. I feel like if you were going to make up a list, why would you put that on there? The Halo 5 Forge bundle that was on Steam, why would you put that on there? Like maybe it's just someone being like really, if it is fake, someone's just like being really extra to make sure it sounds real. But like, you know, Kingdom Hearts 4, you know, they're definitely making another Kingdom Hearts. That makes sense. But one thing that I did notice, like when I typed in Halo, because like there's like a search algorithm in here, I didn't see Infinite on here. So like maybe it's like this Halo Recruit, maybe it's like a code name. And when I put in Firaxis, I didn't see the new game that they just announced on here.
A lot of
it says Firaxis unannounced, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff from what we hear is they use a lot of the code names. And another reason why a lot of people believe, shout out to Jez Corden, he's got a great article over No Central. A lot of reason why a lot of insiders believe it is because a lot of the code names that we heard in the past
the real code names.
Are the actual real code names. They're like, oh yeah, that Fable is this, and what you call it, you know, the typhoons and the avalanches and all this other stuff.
I mean, maybe there's no need to make a code name for XCOM 3, but that's in here by name. So it's interesting. Like I say 70-30, this list is true. And especially
very good.
We know God of War is definitely coming. Like there's no way around that. They literally bought a studio. What's the studio's name, King?
Nix's.
I've really been searching the internet trying to get Nix's merch. What King that
so you know, at the end of the day,
I actually emailed them.
I hope it's true because of one game. One game out of this whole list. There's obviously Kingdom Hearts 4 and stuff in here, but the one that that Final Fantasy Tactics for you. Let that be real. I will be okay. This whole list could be fake, made up. That's okay. Just make sure that Final Fantasy Tactics 1 is good.
Man, you always gotta worry with Square, right? Because you hear like, oh, they're bringing all the old Final Fantasies back, and then it's not.
Because the Tactics says remaster. Same with Chrono Cross is remaster. So it's not. It's
when
not.
They remaster.
Cross, not Trigger.
Stuff doesn't always.
Yeah, there's no mention of Trigger.
Even if they bring remaster, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if they
my hope is that they remake Chrono Trigger.
Even if they bring back, it's just Final Fantasy Tactics as a remaster. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Because guess what? I accepted the reality that there would be no remaster or remake or anything.
Right.
So the fact that I get a remake is a remaster, that'd be good for me.
No doubt.
But I hope the list is true because there's a lot of nice games on here, man. Like I hope the list is true.
No doubt. Solve the list, the video, the GeForce. You believe in it? Where you at?
Yeah, man, I think it's mostly true. I mean, you had a couple like Microsoft stepped out and was like, no, Halo 5 is not coming to PC or whatever. And that's just probably because it's not worth the work. Like it's just not gonna, I
think if it was coming to PC, it already came by now.
Yeah, it's not happening. So, certain things I'm sure we just, code names, and certain things I'm sure were sort of speculative and like, oh, we assume this is coming. But yeah, man, like all the Sony stuff, it is what it is, and I'm glad it's happening. I'm tired. It is what it is, and hey, that Demon Souls on a PC is gonna look real nice. That God of War on the PC is gonna look real nice. GT7.
I'm not gonna even play God of War on PC, but a dude might pick it up to show support.
Yeah, I've done that with every Sony game so far.
There you go. Yeah,
not played them, but bought them.
And then when it comes to the Microsoft stuff, obviously you knew that was happening. The thing about that is it's going to be hand in hand with like the Microsoft Store stuff and Steam. Obviously, they're working towards that being the case where you don't have that sort of exclusivity period with Microsoft Store, whatever, or the weirdness that we had with UWP and inferior versions being on the Microsoft Store. So that stuff is all, that's happening. The Square Enix stuff, like Attic said, all those remasters of Tactics and Chrono Cross, I'm excited for. But it's real. I believe the vast majority of it because everything is fluid now. We don't have that situation like we had in the PS3 days where the cell processor is so removed from what everybody else is doing that you just can't get those games in fluidly across all platforms. Like it just wouldn't work well. We're at that point where they're all essentially PCs.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. No,
yeah, I feel you. I'm happy with this. I hope a lot of this stuff like Tekken 8 or Titanfall 3. Oh my god.
Titanfall 3, yeah. Oh my god.
I did see someone put in the chat, and that this makes me like kind of skeptical about it, but that Final Fantasy 9 remake, like maybe Square Enix realized that like they got that hit from the Marvel, like literally hit, like they got hit. They didn't generate a hit, they got hit. Yeah. So maybe they're like, look, like the people like the remakes, so like let's double down on the remakes. Let's have a Final Fantasy 7 remake and 9 being at the same time. Like,
no, for you. I mean, I'll jump in. I think a lot of this stuff is real. I agree with y'all. I think the code names that are being used kind of fall right in line with what the rumors were, what these early projects were. I'm with King. I do feel the PC ports are kind of hilarious because a lot of people in the PlayStation community fought that for a long time, which I don't understand why. It's not a big deal. Like King said, it's not affecting you. This is Sony making big, smart business moves to try to get it on other platforms. So seeing God of War PC when people were so mad when we had Rand on and, other people on that we said that this is going to happen. No, they'll never do it. It devalues their thing. And we heard it, now all of a sudden, you know what the new thing is now, King? Well, now, even though it was never going to happen, now it's 2-3 years. Okay, whatever it helps to make you sleep at night. But at the end of the day, it's happening. This is a business. Sony's in the business of making money. In my opinion, you want them to exist, to be around, to be more successful. So, yeah, God of War makes sense. All this other stuff makes sense.
They just need to bring that stuff to Game Pass.
I know. Okay.
And then you can look at it from the aspect like, who says that them not putting stuff on PC it's gonna have a domino effect where you're having, not the next God of War, but the God of War after that, where they have the double of a budget because they had the PlayStation revenue and the PC
you
revenue.
Want the games that you like to be supported. So if they're doing well, they're getting some money on the back end. Salute. To me, the biggest thing that excited me. Shout out to again Just Corden, Windows Central. Great article. Talking about this stuff. He actually talked about some other project names that were kind of in this list that really excited me. One was called Project Cobalt. And in Exile, I didn't know about this. So they got
I didn't either. It's
cool. Wasteland Studio. They're making a new FPS RPG. So I'm super excited about that because I think In Exile is super underrated. Wasteland did well, and them with a budget, with a big scale. I think he talked about, shout out to the Xbox too. I looked at them. They talked about some stuff that they saw on ArtStation, kind of like steampunk-ish vibes. Looks really cool. So I'm hype about that. They got other Xbox game publishing deals as well. I think there's another one called Indus. They've got stuff coming. So to me, this list is accurate because in a COVID world with a pandemic, GeForceNow makes sense for development tools and people utilizing stuff in remote locations. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know who left the You know, the laptop
The back
in the
door
bar.
open.
You know,
I mean,
remember how the leaks used to be? They let somebody devil leave a
Look at it.
laptop in the bar.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
Somebody
Look at
opened
it
their
from-
laptop on a bus or
Yeah.
something. And somebody...
Look at it from this standpoint.
Mhm.
Like, I know a lot of people like, oh, how could this possibly leak?
Mhm.
The people who do E3, what's their the TSA or no? That's
ESA.
yeah, the ESA, like they leaked mad info. Like sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
Like there ain't nothing you could do about it. Like
Yeah, no, I do believe, like, yeah, percentage super strong. This stuff's happening, and some of the stuff that they're working on is pretty exciting, I think, too.
notice they didn't deny it.
Yeah, they tried to, they tried to fake, you know, the corporate
God.
statement. We, you know,
Like,
we
why
hear,
would you say anything at that point?
Exactly.
Like, the statement they put out makes it seem more
Yeah.
real. It's just like, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna do
Jimmy,
that.
they said placeholders. We got
Yeah.
placeholders.
But, like,
Yeah.
it's speculative. We're not. This doesn't confirm anything.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, all right, whatever they need to make to sleep at night. You
Now
know,
every E3, people are gonna pull from this list. Say, I wonder if this is gonna get announced here. Like,
I just thought, like I said, to King's point, I thought it was funny because I know, you know, me and him has been on the PC stuff that stuff was gonna happen, and I knew it was gonna happen.
One of the comments said Jussie Spud. They said that Evil Within 3 was on there. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that was where I was like, oh, this is fake, because I didn't think they would go back to that well, but I'm glad they will, because that game underrated.
Underrated.
Second one.
No doubt. So that's all I got. Let's get this poll, get up out of here, and then we'll get to super chats afterwards. New IP poll with the rumors swirling of potential major Xbox acquisition day happening soon. Which of these entities do you want Microsoft to pursue? A, Take-Two Interactive. B, Warner Brothers. C, Sega. Or D, I don't care, but if none of these acquisitions happens, the Xbox Insider community about to get this work. Salute to everybody in the chat. The legendary Jimmy Champane rocked with us the entire way. The Lord of Horror, the Lord of Halloween, tremendous gaming history, PS ready, and hopefully Xbox ready soon. My man, where can the fine people find you? What you got going on, sir?
You can find me everywhere at Jimmy Champane, and if you look on Twitter, all my stuff's linked. Yeah, good tease on Xbox Ready, that is coming soon. We're working it up.
Sorry if I stitched
It's all good.
Sorry if I stitched
yeah, it's coming. I can confirm it. It's not for me. It's like I'm behind the scenes.
No
on
doubt.
It, but
no doubt.
Yeah, look me up, Jimmy Champane. You want to see my Halloween stuff? That's on my main channel. You want to see my PlayStation stuff? That's on PS Ready. Guys, thanks a lot. This was so much fun. This is like one of the best podcasts I've ever been on. Like, this is great.
I'm putting his Twitter in the chat, guys.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you. You know, before I pass to the other lords, you know, absolute pleasure meeting you. You know, obviously at the Last Stand Media event, and just so down to earth, really cool. And I know Solve love talking hard with you.
Yeah,
I love
that was fun.
Yeah, man. I just like your journey. I like what you're doing out there. Continue the great works. And one thing I realize about you that I really appreciate you, like I said, the analytical nature, how humble you are, how willing you are to help other content creators. That's very rare, because usually a lot of people in this space, you know, sadly, they want to deal with people that only on their level and all this politic garbage. And
I hate that.
Yeah, Jimmy.
That's the one thing I hate so much.
I hate it, bro. And one thing about you, Jimmy, we was kicking it. We was in the bar. We had our drinks. We was chilling. Everybody, good time, good vibes. Can't wait to hang out again. So salute the legendary Jimmy Champane, Lord Addict. Where can the people find you? What you got going on, sir?
You can find me on Twitter, Lord Addict ILP. You can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict. I'll have my first video in a while up tomorrow. You can also find me streaming at I don't know if I'm going to stream on the ILP Twitch or my actual personal Twitch. I don't know yet. But you can find me over there. You know, I streamed a lot of Deathloop. You know, first I want to thank Jimmy for coming on here. You know, it's like Cog said, like there's a lot of gatekeeping going on in this industry. Like a crazy amount of gatekeeping. Like it might as well be the Great Wall of China. Like it's just like
what's your sub count, Addict? I can't talk to you.
And it's just frustrating because you'll meet people at events and they're like, yeah, man, what I like you tell good chemistry, you feel like, you know, this is going somewhere, and then, you know, it's 6-7 months go by, and you said you wanted to come on. He's like, we got a room for you, and crickets. They never respond. They don't. And to me and Cog's always been that kind of person. It's like, look, if you're busy, just say it.
Good.
Like,
it's all good.
You know, because
that makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse in this industry than feeling like, you know, cool, I met some cool people, and then it turns out they're not cool people. They were just putting on a game at the event.
Yeah, man, that unfortunately has happened more often than not with me. With just like for all that shit, it sucked. Oh, sorry.
You made it to the
For every one big guest we've had on, we've had 3 front on us. So, you know, and you know, thanks to the viewership, you know, the people who support us every week, because you guys show up in such groves, like it's easier to get people now because they see, oh look, you know, they don't got 10 G's, but they get 700-800 live viewership, you know, like, and people look at stuff like that, and you know, they gravitate and they give us a shot. You know, shout out to Colin Moriarty. That dude did not have to come on here.
Colin did not have to come on ILP, and that was huge.
You know, we went above and beyond, making sure everyone was able to go on to every show, because you know, when it comes to the bigger guests, like, we understand Sunday's not a good day for a lot of people. Like, so sometimes we have to move on that, and it's like, you know, I appreciate everyone for coming through. We had up to, like, I think it was almost 550 or something. You know, definitely love the people that like the podcast, love the people that super chatted, you know, and we got some surprises for you guys in the future, man. We got some surprises.
No doubt. Lord Soft, where can the fine people find you? What you got going on, sir?
Yeah, man. First off, big shout out to Jimmy, man. It was a pleasure meeting you at the Last Stand Media event. Immediately just hit it off, obviously, because the horror, man, love horror in every way, shape, or form, whether it's like it's movies or gaming, and we just hit it off. But I want to thank you for being that type of person that's just, we got into conversations about the business behind like YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah. Like with you and Dustin as well. Dustin was standing behind me with a stove, like, you know, talking boss stuff.
Boss talk.
Yeah, man. But you guys really.
Dust was in his element.
Yes.
He's never looked
really
cooler.
Was. He really was. But it's just so cool that you guys are there, like willing to sit there and talk to the old man in the room and show him how it's done. Because again, it's so much. It's funny. There were certain things that you talked about when we were talking, and literally the following week, I saw people implementing those exact things that had never done it before. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? And it's like, you guys are so, I mean, I don't know if you've spoken to these particular people I'm talking to, but if not, it's just the fact that you guys are so you have your finger on the pulse of how this stuff works and how to be successful. And the fact that you're just so willing to share that is amazing, bro. So I wish you all the best, all the success, man. I can't wait to have you on again and to hang out again.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, they don't want to give that kind of info because they're in the back of their mind, they're scared what they show me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to give that kind of access.
I hate that.
Yeah, man.
You know what? A lot of people know what to do. They just don't want to because they're like, oh, I'm obsessed with making art or whatever. And it's like, you got to make content for the platform you're on. That's something I learned that stuck with me.
The crazy thing is that, like, you came up to us, you were like, oh my God, I love your show, guys, whatever. And
I was so stoked to be honest.
Jimmy Champane.
Yo, I'm like, you're Jimmy Champane. And we're like, yo, it was such a moment. Like, it just goes to show you, like, you know, we underrated, obviously, our influence as well. And then, obviously, we both share mutual friends. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, shout out to Jake, the legend. You know what I'm saying?
Jake he talks about you guys all the time, and I was like, oh man, if I ever got to be on that show, I would be
bro, we had to do it, man. I had to cook up the intro for you. But yeah, man, and like Soft said, you know, it is very rare and cool, you know, to share that information with your peers and to help, you know, not gatekeep information like Attic was saying, right? Because it's like, you know, it's rare, man. Salute to you for that. That was huge. We really took that to heart. You have no idea. Your stock went even higher. We were already fans. Your stock went through the roof. I was like, yeah, we got to get Jimmy in the realm.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, this is just a tip. That screen you see on the YouTube studio, it literally tells you everything that it wants. It's like, I want watch time, I want click-through rate, and that's all it is. Like, it's all right there. They're telling you. It's
no
like,
doubt.
nothing crazy.
Lord King, where can the fine people find you? What you got going on, sir?
First, I'd like to apologize to Jimmy for being tardy, sir.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Again, no. Jimmy, I'm never late. And the fact that I was late, I do apologize. You didn't get the full King experience, so you do need to come back.
5 minutes shy.
Don't worry. I got you. But
he's mad you didn't get the music intro.
Yeah, you ain't get the intro. You ain't get
Dude, I got hyped up for the music. I was
I do apologize. But to have somebody that reads Fangora magazine and stuff like that, who is steeped in horror, that can appreciate the genre, to look at Returnal and pull off some movie references to it to get more intrigued by it. I think that's special, and I think that's needed. You understand?
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
And making movies and just living your truth is really fun. And they got a chance to meet you. I wish I would have got a chance to meet you because you sound like a cool dude. And I do watch a lot of stuff. So I do see your stuff, and you are on my timeline, sir.
Thank you.
And I do appreciate your content. Thank you for showing up. KOS.
Yes, sir.
It's going up this week. Again, I'm having a tough time doing this KOS because it's talking about my fallen comrade, Chris.
Rest in peace.
So he's X-Men dude. So you see Cable in the back. You can see him in a different position right now. So I did all the other stuff, the static shots, and I did the still stuff. It's just I'm having a hard time getting through the actual video talking about him. That'll be up next week. Please go to lordsofgaming.net where we have a ton of writers, a ton of stuff up there. Please check that out. Please watch Lord Cognito with Andy Bontis and Ty Guy Travis with the last word, Destiny. I went flawless, guys. So right now I'm in trials running around like a new kid.
Shout out to your flawless.
Jump on there, man.
Shout out
Travis,
to
hit me up, Travis.
Yeah, shout out to
they can't handle me, son. It's crazy. But see you guys next week. Lord's Legion of Doom.
Yes.
Fridays, 9 p.m.
Oh, 9 p.m.
Please check it out. We had the sick one on this week. Check us out next week. It's the content is a little blue.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Salute. And like I said, if people aren't aware, Jimmy, like his statue collecting in the community is pretty amazing. It's for anyone who's into that and comic book culture. Highly advised. You know what I'm saying? They should do. They've been putting it down for a minute now. It's the rebrand, so even more goodness. So check that out. So what that?
Yeah, I was looking at that Cable statue. I was like, that is cool. That is cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Salute. You already know that's all I got. So we got these super chats to read, but I don't want to keep Jimmy hostage while we pay the bills and get out of here. So Jimmy.
Oh, it's fine. You can go through.
Oh, okay, cool. I just
it out. Yeah.
No doubt. So Saul, you want to get these joints and then we roll up?
Yeah, give me 1 second. It's not too many. We got Brett Bingham, $5 super chat. Microsoft could always go full Thanos like an Endgame and pull out these awesome studios and IP from third-party publishers like the Mind Stone from Vision. Yank it from the brain.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Then we have Clutch Man, $2 super chat. A Calvin and Hobbes game by Double Fine would be sick. Yeah, they would be the ones who did
that. Actually would be. Yeah, that's actually good.
And we have Raiden Blade, £5 super chat, just arrived. Looks like I'm late to the show. So King, What If series, I love them. So what you think about What If Spider-Man versus Hulk?
King.
Oh, you're talking about the actual books?
Well, I guess he's coming off of watching the series.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
So they actually have really books where they fought already.
Right.
So it's not a real what if. I thought the last episode of What If was the best one out of the box. I thought they explored different avenues of stuff that they had to build the universe to get to this point, this episode. If Iron Man 1 isn't made and Black Panther isn't made, we don't get this episode. So this episode was a real peek inside of what they can actually do with the properties that they do have. And I love the last one, the zombies episode, a good take on it. It's been a very good series.
Cool. What else we got, Saul?
Then we got Michael Askew Jr., $5 super chat. Without Insomniac and Naughty Dog, would Sony have the market share that they have? I feel Sony fans are really studio fans.
Okay.
Well, without one arm and the other arm, would you be able to swim in the pool? It just doesn't make any sense.
You would.
Hilarious.
Then we have Raiden Blade, $5 super chat. For Microsoft Xbox to buy a Japanese company, it would be Tango Game Studios to purchase because they are Japanese-based company subsidiary comes to mind. They own them already.
They own them already.
They got them with Bethesda.
Yeah.
Oh, newsflash! They brought them.
Yeah. Then we have One Bad Mother, $5 super chat. Monthly PSA. ILP continues to be gaming's most entertaining podcast. Has been for years.
Salute.
Tell your friends. Thank you, brother.
Man. Salute to him. Salute to Xbox era. I was rocking with those guys 4 hours. But it was amazing.
Yeah.
And salute to them. Yeah, tremendous. And he does tremendous work with those guys. He's a writer for their site, Xbox Era. Salute those guys. We're going to do something special with Special Nick and the guy Sick. And, of course, Woeful. We got to get them on. And we had One Bad Mother on OBM. Salute him, no doubt. We got everything, son.
Raiden Blade, £2 super chat. I was talking about the book, so he's really into the books as opposed to the show.
Mm-hmm. They actually have fought, so yeah. So
it wasn't a what if. They fought.
They just actually fought. John Romita Jr. actually does a great take on Spider-Man versus the Hulk.
No doubt. All caught up?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Look, everybody, thank y'all for coming. This was amazing. Legendary Jimmy Champane in the building.
Hey.
Yes, sir. And we will be back next week. Some more fun, a lot of things cooking up. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. That's all I got. Eddie, got anything else before we got to roll up out? Be good? All right, everybody, enjoy your Sunday. We out. Peace.
Blade.
What we forgot?
He just added at the end.
Oh, okay. What you say? We live.
Yeah. Raiden Blade, £5 super chat. I'm already aware that they own them. I'm saying it's easy. It's an easy way into Japan. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
they have to have a studio.
Apologies.
No doubt. And thank you for that. We're out for real now. Peace.
you